Welcome back to Keeping Up with the Nerds podcast here with my special friend TMNT Popcorn Bucket. Bucket, how are you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, Bryan. Living the mother bucket life, you know?
No. Actually, I don't. But anyways, we got a special guest for you guys today. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Dune Popcorn Bucket. Welcome to the show, man.
Interview? I'm here to spread the damn truth. Do you know what it's like to be me?
Yeah, what's not to like about popcorn?
Popcorn? I get filled with dicks, damn it. Every damn day. Goddamn same dick.
You mean you've never felt the warm, runny feeling of hot butter down your side?
It's not butter. Do you know what comes out of dicks? It ain't butter. Sure looks like it. But that right there is 100% grade A.
Okay. Let's wrap up the show right there, yeah?
Do you know how much I want a hand to come down my throat? Like a normal bucket?
Join us next week for a new special segment where we talk to
I didn't ask to be like this. You know who I blame? Warner Brothers. Why? Because they're all Great episode, guys. Thanks for having me. Nick! I'm ready.
Salty. Just the way I like my popcorn.
recording at 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California at Undercity Comics. Keeping Up with the Nerds presents issue 187. My name is Bryan.
Nick.
Rene.
And welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Can you believe that we have 13?
Clapping too hard,
Could you really stop doing that in the mic? Just tap. Just touch tips.
Golf clap.
Touch tips.
Golf clap.
Touch tips.
No, just kidding. I can't do it.
Why are you screaming?
I'm good. I'm feeling good.
Are you one of my children?
I'm happy, dude.
Like one of my students. I swear to God.
Yeah.
It's a happy Friday, dude.
I literally
happy
had
Friday to you.
I had
Happy-
a student today.
Happy Friday to you.
Dude,
Happy Friday to you.
literally, I had a student
No one
today
cares about your students.
who turned around
Uh-huh.
and as I was sitting in a chair, went, and licked my arm.
How old are your students again?
4.
That makes sense.
Oh no, he's 5. But anyway,
No, that isn't unacceptable.
Yeah.
A 5-year-old shouldn't do that.
and then he put his
better.
and then he put his hands down his pants. It was a weird day. It was a weird day.
Wait, I was gonna say, that kid should know because COVID. No, that kid was like 1 year old
He was like,
during COVID.
He licks everything.
It's, would you much rather have that or just like random Fortnite dances?
Fortnite dances.
Really?
Because I can make fun of them for that.
You're not doing it right. Here, let me show you how to floss.
No,
What
I
else?
don't know how to floss.
Want to hear something sad?
Let
Anyone?
me show you the gritty.
Anyone that was born in 2000 is 24 now.
Shut your freaking mouth, dude. I wasn't gonna say it. I almost did. But shut your mouth, dude. I've already had. You know what? Someone at work told me today.
What?
They're doing a one of the dietitians I work with.
Yeah.
She's a DJ, so she'll like do events for like hip hop up and coming
Does she
artists.
play
and stuff like-
oldies like
No, dude,
Backstreet
she got
Boys?
invited to a
Like,
freaking bar that's doing
uh-huh.
Elder Emo Night. for people 21 years and older.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, what?
And I'm like,
That's
hold on,
elderly?
That's elderly.
That's
dude.
elder- Why is that elder? I just
That's
realized
my
this
question,
is
dude. I'm like, why are we saying 21 and over is elderly?
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm in my prime of my life, dude.
You're not 21.
I'm not. I'm
You're
30.
definitely well over that.
I'm 30 years old.
When's your AARP card coming in?
Right.
When can I apply for the senior citizen discount at this point?
Honestly,
Stop. We are
It's-
closer to that age. No, are we?
dude,
No, not
we're
yet.
halfway.
We're halfway there.
But also, those discounts are pretty sick.
They are.
Yeah.
Have you
pretty sick.
seen those
Yeah.
senior discounts? Like, I'm not gonna lie,
no, it works out.
they're
like,
pretty good.
In the buses, they only pay like 50 cents.
I know.
I have to pay $1.75. or
Wow,
$2.
dude, a whole $1.25 more.
Hey,
Listen,
you don't
man.
live the lifestyle I have to live. What I have to say, all right? I don't live comfortable like you. Okay?
No, it does. Every penny counts.
Money
Yeah,
is rare.
When I get my paycheck, I'm already stressed. It's already pre-gone. Like I don't have anything. I had to like really think about buying this. I shouldn't have bought that banana pudding, but I did, man.
Do I regret it a little bit? Maybe.
Yeah.
And that's why we're starting a GoFundMe.
Yes.
But it's not because Renee's sick. It's because Rene just needs to live. So,
Expensive, especially living in California. Being poor in California does not work out right now.
well,
Like,
could you imagine if you were, if it was the way that it was and you were in Montana, you'd be rich.
it would be.
You'd be.
I would be.
You'd be well off.
Mm-hmm. A lot more shootings, but in schools.
Dude, you
Yeah.
could pay your
have
you could
money,
pay
dude.
your you could pay your rent in meth and you'd be fine.
right. Yeah.
Pay for protection, bro.
What protect? You can't buy condoms in meth.
Not.
No, in Utah, like to avoid birth control, they just do soaking.
Oh my god.
Soaking is hilarious.
I love
So-
that
Sean,
so much.
Sean
the bit that
Sean is
fermented
off
the- Yeah.
camera right now. His face said, "I don't know what soaking is."
You don't know?
Oh,
yes. So now
Don't
we
look
get
it
a
up.
reason.
Don't look it up.
Don't look it up. So
Okay.
Soaking Rule 34. Soaking Rule 34.
No. Okay, so in case anybody doesn't know,
Yeah.
soaking
No,
is.
wait, this is a PG audience. Bro.
I understand that.
This is
So,
not a PG.
so
Our
you looked
demographic's
at
over
it already?
30.
Yeah, I
dude.
know it was.
And it's males.
Our
So-
demographic
no,
is like.
we started getting some more females.
Oh,
we did.
cool.
But
But
anyway,
they like the gross stuff too.
but those females are from Ukraine. I'm not sure where.
Okay, yeah, no.
I'm not sure what those are. Anyway, what was it? Soaking is when a guy gets on top of a girl, and then he inserts and then just holds there.
That's it. It's like you're idolizing the whole time.
Then
It's
what
like
you can
putting
do,
a hot dog in a bud. and just
then
letting it sit
if
there.
you're now and then you have to have a really good friend,
yeah.
because then the friend, while you're soaking in it, then pushes on the bed to make the bodies gyrate and to go up and down.
And in the eyes of the Mormon God, I don't know.
Christians too.
Christians,
Christians do
yeah.
it.
That's considered you're still celibate.
You're because technically you didn't because you didn't thrust yourself.
Yes. You have a person it's kind of like what is it? From Zach and Miri? What is it?
Oh, Dutch rudder.
Dutch runner, yeah.
A Dutch rudder.
Yeah, Dutch
Which way-
rudder, yeah.
Do you know what a Dutch rudder is?
No.
Okay, we should do a Dutch rudder later.
No.
So
Absolutely
a
not.
Dutch rudder is when let's say me and Renee are looking at each other.
Yeah.
I grab onto mine, and then Renee grabs onto his, and then I grab his arm,
Yes.
and then he grabs mine, and then we kind of do that,
work each
and we
other's
just work
arms.
it,
Yeah.
and then we can't look at each other, and then
So
and then we
here's-
don't look at each other in the
Yeah,
eye
that's it.
because then that's frowned upon.
So here's how. Okay. So what I'm learning from here is if you are not intentionally doing the action, it doesn't count.
Exactly.
So if a job does random drug testing, and I didn't voluntarily inject the drugs in me or consume them because someone else did it, then technically,
I feel like you need to watch Zach and Miri make a porno.
I think I saw it like once a long time ago.
That movie's amazing.
It is.
You know what movie they're making a sequel for? Project X.
Why?
I don't know.
Haven't we said enough?
No, I think our generation just wants to make a comeback.
Is it Project XI?
No, it's Project XX. That's the working sequel
Why?
title. I don't know, dude.
Project X wasn't even that good.
Plus those so I mean obviously it has to be a different cast. You know, because all those actors now are like older, like
Yeah.
adults at this point. Like
Or you kind of make it like an old school kind of version of it, where they're older and then they kind of have to like get into like a college.
So millennials making a party house again like that?
Yeah.
And then, but it's like kind of weird, and then they have to kind of go about it, and it has Zac Efron because you have to have Zac Efron.
Sure, why not?
Chloe Moretz.
You're just naming a Dreamcast.
That's just the Neighbors too.
Yeah, basically.
Neighbors 2.2.
In all fairness, I feel like Neighbors did it better. Like I feel like it's the
first
same
one.
movie.
The first one was good.
The second one's good.
I don't remember seeing the second one. 21 Jump Street was really good.
22 Jump Street had a better
Ending?
joke payoffs.
Oh, are you talking about when he meets
The captain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was funny.
That's such smart comedy. I'm like mad that I never thought of something like that as well too.
Of what? Which one?
Of like, remember when Schmidt sleeps
Oh.
with the girl and come to find out,
And he
it's-
high fives everybody.
Yeah, he tells the captain, he tells everyone in the precinct, like, oh
He's
yeah,
like,
I
my God,
finally
you
did
high
it. Yeah.
fived him.
And then come to find out when he goes meets her parents, it's the captain as the dad.
That's a great movie.
That's
dude.
like the greatest reveal in cinematic
By
history.
far, one of the greatest reveals because
Yeah.
I love the ticking clock.
Yeah.
It's just a bing, and then it's like, oh,
You know what movie I want to watch to
Works.
see if it works, if it still ages well? Hot Tub Time Machine.
It does.
One
and it
does.
doesn't.
No, one does.
The
I
first
saw
one
it.
does.
I saw it recently.
Oh really?
I saw Hot Tub Time Machine
Yeah.
recently because it was on Netflix or
It's on
Hulu.
Netflix.
I saw a clip of it. What's the bald guy's name? The actor? The guy that was they basically go and
Because he's trying to kill
himself.
right?
Yeah. What's
He's
his
trying
name in real life?
That's Sean's on
he's
it.
checking.
Sean's on it.
But
Who?
Rob
Rob
Corddry.
Corddry.
He is so funny. That's the thing. I love his like deliverance when
Yeah,
it comes to jokes and stuff.
He was
like
on.
that.
He was on the Daily Show for a while.
Oh, was he?
That's where you got to start. Daily Show.
Oh, I did not know that.
Mhm.
So I
But-
saw him as the bald funny dude.
Yeah,
Every-
Rob Corddry is really good. He definitely does help to carry
Mm-hmm.
too, but in one, it does hold up. It
John
really does.
John Cusack is not really that funny in that movie. In Hot Tub Time Machine.
But
He's
I feel
the
like
straight guy.
I feel like he's
this
supposed
is
to be
why
the
I
straight
need to
man.
rewatch it though because I watched it a lot when it came out
Mhm.
and then it just like disappeared.
Yeah.
But I don't
Well,
know.
the other reason on which I think you would like Zach and Miri again, like on the rewatch, is definitely for who's the dude that always has a towel? He's in Hot Tub Time Machine.
Oh, what's his name? Craig Robinson.
Craig Robinson.
Yeah.
Because
He's a
I was
funny actor.
I was telling him I think Craig Robinson is the only person that's ever like looked at Kevin Smith writing, and then gone, I can make this funnier,
And just make it funny.
and just make it hilariously funny.
Like
we got to
when it comes to your
I can
skits.
take better material, make it
Yeah.
better. All right, we got to move on because we've got a pretty hefty show for you guys
Yeah.
today. But before we talk about anything that's going to be on the show, don't forget to check out our website, keepingupwithnerds.com. Check out our socials, Instagram, Facebook. I think it's still active. I don't know if it's there. X.com, formerly known as Twitter. I'm going to call it Twitter.
Yeah,
I don't
just
care.
call it Twitter.
Twitter.com.
Everyone calls it Twitter.
If you log on to twitter.com,
Twitch
it still takes
streamers.
you
Yeah.
to...
and
yeah,
of
OF
course.
models call it Twitter.
yeah, there you go.
They're the ones that matter.
YouTube.
Yeah, they make-
YouTube.
They
YouTube.
keep it going.
They're the only ones that keep Twitter going.
YouTube.com/Keeping Up with the Nerds and check out our audio platforms, Apple Podcast, Podbean, and Spotify.
Mhm.
All right. So we've got a pretty big show, comic strips to start it off. Also Halo Watch. John and I finally caught up on the last 2 episodes.
Just to let you guys know, Brian's the only one that's watching
I am.
at this point.
Ooh,
I-
do I have a surprise twist for you, dude?
In all fairness, Madam Web last week kind of sucked all
Stop.
the joy out of my life.
Stop, dude. The amount of times I've contemplated like just ending it after watching that movie, dude.
So okay,
Listen,
you weren't-
okay, hold on one
you
second.
weren't fully on the show last week. Give
No.
your quick synopsis.
I
of How
did.
you feel.
No.
I was depressed.
In all fairness, I get it. Madam Web was bad. It wasn't that bad.
Oh,
It wasn't bad enough where I go like,
No, I didn't. I
if
just.
this is the world, I should probably stop.
Yeah, I
it.
think it started with
Like-
Morbius. And then watching Madam Web, I'm like, oh my god, dude. And then Rene with his, we still got one more in the chamber, and I was
Guys
like, crap,
really
dude.
like that.
That was a good
dude.
joke. It was a solid
it's
joke.
over, dude.
That's
I
okay.
can't,
That's
dude.
it, just
I watched
favorite.
Madam Web and then I went like, ugh. And then I went, Bad Batch comes out next week.
I think
I'll
I need a
watch that.
straight jacket to watch.
There is a reason. You're like,
Star Wars, you saved me again.
Ah, there you go.
Filoni.
So we're gonna be
Daddy.
doing Halo Watch and Bad Batch. You're
Yes.
gonna be watching it, so that's great. And we'll be talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender. The
Live action.
live action, pretty mid reviews, but I think you guys have different takes on it, right? Because you two were the only ones to watch it. I haven't had the chance
You watched
to
two
watch
episodes. I finished it.
it. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, you could literally the show will be out, and you'll somehow have watched everything.
I watched 4 episodes the day it came out.
Yeah,
I was
don't know.
extremely tired.
I don't know how you do it, dude. I don't know.
I was up until 4.
You're
It was a nightmare.
And then I went.
And
And
then
then, I
I
went.
work.
And then I went to work at 7. So
well, that's great.
then I went to go work with kids.
I think the one time that's happened to me is when we had to do we were doing that one night where we had to do like 3 different videos and a podcast on top of that.
Oh, where we do it? That was when we did our short.
That was when
film,
we did
right?
the Christmas
Yeah,
short. I think.
I think so. Yeah, and then I only got like 3-4 hours of sleep,
Yeah, because I think we
and I
got
had to
out by,
come
like,
to
4 or
work
5.
the next
Yeah.
day. Yeah.
So before I jump into comic strips,
Yeah.
I've gotten quite a few comments that people liked our wrestling talk.
That's right.
Yeah, people do like it. Wrestling fans are coming out now. It's WrestleMania
yeah.
season.
Let's move on.
No, we're not moving on.
Let's move on.
Real quick,
So we talked about this when we were getting coffee.
we were. So I've actually got a couple pieces of news that might interest you, not in comic strips. So,
Oh.
Elimination Chamber happened this last Saturday, as of this being uploaded, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that Elimination Chamber almost didn't happen on time?
How come?
Because the parts for Elimination Chamber,
Yeah.
apparently they're rebuilding it and making it like a lot better than last year's Chamber.
Oh, I did see
Yeah.
see a video of them like reconstructing it and stuff like that. Yeah.
So the components that were supposed to be sent over to Australia were actually delayed because pirates.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, pirates were preventing the shipment from going from Miami all the way
Mm.
to Australia because it didn't make any sense as to how it would have happened.
Mm-hmm.
But supposedly, what's his name, Michael Cole?
Yeah.
He was the one that kind of said in a statement where that the parts went from Miami to Los Angeles by truck, and then from Los Angeles to Australia, and then it went on a train to Perth. Whereas originally, I think it
Mhm.
was supposed to go from Miami down to Mexico by sea into Australia.
And let me guess. You had Stone Cold Steve Austin standing on the side of the boat, just going like, "Come on, brother, let's go!"
Stone Cold, The Undertaker, just all just like
Just
standing
everybody
on
just
the-
standing.
Could you imagine?
That would
just
be-
a boat of WWE superstars.
That
Yeah.
no, I think it would be even funnier if they were cardboard cutouts. If like as soon as they were like, "The pirates are coming," and then they go, "I got this." You just see all these
cardboard
cardboard
cutouts.
cutouts just.
the pirates are like, "Is that the Rock?" He's like,
Oh my god!
Holy-
Turns around, it's the
Holy
Big
hell!
Show.
Holy hell! Is that Big Show?
look right there. The Rock's the captain.
I just want Rock to record something of like, "Why are you guys here?" And then them going, "We're here to." It doesn't matter why you're here.
Matter why you're here.
You get out of here, you jabronis.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! So that
And then they
almost-
just go, "We'll turn around the boat." Just.
so Elimination Chamber almost had delayed. Austin Theory's back in the news.
I don't know who that is.
So Austin Theory
Yeah.
is
saw
kind
this.
of like the mini John Cena because he grew up watching John Cena.
I thought he
He's
was
a heel.
I thought he was like the thought of being John Cena.
He
Yes
kind of
and no.
wants.
That's why
to-
he's the theory.
Well, he wants to be a John Cena. He
I
wants.
got your joke.
Sure.
That's why he's the theory. Shut up.
So they're doing interviews in Australia.
This is it.
Are you showing him Austin
I'm
Theory?
just showing him like what he looks like.
Okay.
That's why he gets an idea.
He's
like-
cute. He's good. He's got good teeth.
I swipe right.
He's got some mean teeth, dude.
You
Like,
saw
look at
the
these
you saw
teeth.
the interview portion,
yeah,
right?
yeah. He was in Perth and
Yeah. And so yes, I know who he is. Can I get to the news? Anyway, so he's he talks like this only because he doesn't know about wrestling. That's it, dude.
It's the one thing that Brian knows I don't regularly.
I don't
keep
do it
up
on
with.
purpose. It's
No,
just
he does.
people like it. What do you want me to do?
Dude, look at that bicep. That's fake. There's no way he has a bicep like that. Oh my god.
Anyways,
Yeah.
he's doing the interview,
Mercy.
and the interviewer
My
says,
God.
"Hey, wrestling is fake."
or say I think it was worded more of like it's not that hard, or because it's
fake.
because it's fake.
Yeah. And so Austin Theory just went off on the interviewer.
Yeah, that's
basically.
the one thing that wrestlers hate, honestly.
And can you blame him?
No, that's the thing is that, and I'm not trying to be like a hardcore fan. Like, it isn't fake. Well, it's the one thing that the wrestlers will say, and when it comes to interviews, that yes, it's not technically fake. It's just predetermined, and we're going out there and doing this one take show.
Exactly.
And if stuff happens, you got to work with it.
You got to
and
work
stuff
with
like
it
that.
if you end up hurting. Didn't
Austin Theory and Carmelo Hayes get injured like a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and it's that was because one of them had a little mishap when it came to jumping off the turnbuckle, but it happens.
It happens.
It happens.
So I don't
It's
know.
a very physical sport.
It is. And
It's still physical. Yeah, it's still very.
I'm
physical.
on team Austin Theory. Good for him for standing up for the sport.
Yeah,
It's entertainment.
Yeah,
It's fun.
It's funny to me that it's a known thing in the like medium world. Is that when you call out wrestling or to a wrestler that wrestling's fake, you're going to get that reaction regardless.
Exactly.
So I don't know why this interviewer thought it was going to be different.
Yeah. Last piece of news for funsies. John Cena is officially on OnlyFans.
Is he?
Yeah.
No way.
Is it empty?
Stanicki.
Ricky
Stanicki.
Now, what kind of content is he doing on
So
OnlyFans?
nothing has been revealed yet. They just found the account as Ricky Stanicki.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of wish.
He would make millions.
Oh,
No,
he probably
I would love it if it was just blank photos
of just
of just
Oh,
empty
he's-
rooms. If it was just empty rooms,
You know
and
what?
then
I
John
would pay
Cena,
whatever price that is,
and it was
just
just
to see those,
and it was just
or
weird
not to
setups.
see.
it's a
Like,
backdrop of a white wall.
Yeah.
I
and it was
like
just
me
empty
spread my
rooms.
ass real quick.
right?
And it was just empty
nothing.
rooms, and on the bottom it says "me with my pants down."
Right.
Just
And be like, oh, you want to see some boy girl, and it's just like the girl.
it's just a girl. You want to see me do some guy on guy stuff? It's just
Yeah.
a guy.
It's just a guy.
Just a
That
guy
would be
that's
the
like,
easiest way to get.
He didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, he doesn't have to do anything.
You
dude,
know what?
literally an
It'd be
intern.
Yeah.
That an intern could do it.
Yeah.
It would be the easiest gimmick anyone could do, and he would be guaranteed like more
Millions.
Than a million. Yeah,
Yeah.
automatically.
Okay, but you have to pay me because that's my idea.
Or
John Cena, I swear to God, if you steal this idea, I want my money. I will sue.
or we
We
reach out to
deserve
John
residuals.
Cena and
Yeah.
do a sexy photo shoot
Residuals.
calendar with him, and just like or for
It's
him.
all blank.
And
I
it's
would,
all blank.
I would love
Yeah.
blank photos.
Just blank.
And
We should
then just
we
go
should-
like
we should
it's
just
John.
make that.
the official
We
John
can make
Cena.
John
that.
Cena.
I know we
Can
can.
we can definitely do that.
Yeah,
Can
we
we do
can
a
make
John
it.
Cena shirt and it's a white shirt?
I think what it, I think the only thing we would have to not do is put it under WWE's name because
No, we can't.
No. We'll get a cease and desist. But if
Yeah.
I call it the J Cena,
the JC calendar.
the JC calendar,
Yeah.
and then it's just like pictures of nothing,
Mhm.
just like backdrops.
Or it's just
that
like
would be
clothes
hilarious.
floating. Like,
Yeah, just close. Oh my God, yes.
a chain just
just like-
sitting there.
just
in the middle
jorts?
there. Yeah.
Can you just put jorts on the floor?
Yeah.
The,
we can just
the
throw jorts in a
December's
t-shirt.
photo is just the little towelette that goes right there.
And a little Santa hat. Yeah. Santa hat.
Oh
and
my
a little
God, we
towel.
would make millions.
Yeah.
Because people would be like,
buy that.
people would buy it because it's hilarious. Oh, that's my John Cena calendar. There's nothing on it.
I can't
That's right.
see him exactly.
That's exactly right.
Where is he? He's right there, dude.
He's right there.
there.
Don't you see him?
Yeah.
I see him.
Or can I? Can't see him. Maybe not.
You're not a true believer.
Right.
Just like Santa, dude.
Oh my God, that is so amazing. I want that now.
Oh my gosh. All right, time for comic strips, portion of the show where we talk about topics that don't merit a 10 to 15 minute conversation. Are we ready to get going?
Let's do it.
Speaking about TV shows and movies from our past, Blue Mountain State is back in the headlines. A sequel is currently in development with Alan Richardson returning
Richardson.
Richardson returning as Thad Castle.
That's dope.
Darren Brooks and Chris Romano also to reprise their roles
Sick.
Cool.
in Blue Mountain State.
That's cool.
So part of the reason why this is being brought up again is because of the success of Reacher.
Mhm.
And I guess people have been watching Blue Mountain State on Netflix again.
Mhm.
So it's getting popularity again.
What is it? Alan Richardson's doing a movie with Kevin James. It's gonna based in it's like a comedy duo movie with them two in it.
You know what I would love to see them two in it?
Mm.
Here Comes the Boom 2.
I would like that
As
actually, yeah.
as a mixed martial arts. And
That'd
then
be funny. I love Here Comes the Boom.
Dude, Here Comes the Boom. I love that
That's a
movie. The
good
movie's
movie.
great. Have you
Kevin
seen it?
James is
I
like,
haven't seen that one.
oh dude, that's good.
Kevin-
it's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's the idea is Kevin James is a teacher who is trying to do MMA fighting to
Mhm.
save the music program at his school.
Oh,
Yeah.
I might have seen it
And
Probably
that's,
have.
by
that-
accident.
that's the premise of it.
Okay.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
he's trying to
Really
like, and then like he's like refinding his love in teaching.
Henry Winkle's in it. Yeah.
Henry Winkler is in it.
A lot
Yeah.
of these movies I ended up watching on TV, but not knowing because I mean cable like
Well,
you'll,
that's the thing. Yeah,
but
movies
never
like
knowing
that.
the title.
Usually
it's
when
always
it
on,
goes to-
TBS or TNT.
Yeah.
Really? Because usually when they go to commercial, they're like, "Oh, and back to
Oh,
Here
that was-
Comes the Boom.
Years and years ago.
Mhm.
That was like early ages of like
Yeah.
cable television.
No.
Now it's just like, oh,
Mhm.
commercials over, back to the movie. That's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Blue Mountain State back
Cool.
in the talks.
For that-
Legos.
They
That's a
hurt.
thing.
When
They
you step
hurt.
on them.
I thought we were still talking about Blue Mountain State. Okay,
No,
never mind.
Blue Mountain State and Legos. Dude, every time I think of Blue Mountain State,
Was it the Goat House Lego set? It's from Blue Mountain State.
I honestly do need to finish. I need to finish Mountain State. I've only watched like maybe like 3 or 4
Oh,
episodes.
dude, I watched
No,
them.
really.
You know what?
It's a good show.
Oil change.
You know what's weird? It's okay. The oil change I do remember.
Yeah.
I got to that. I
You
got to
get to the
the.
part with Denise Richards gets to be in it.
I got to the. I think I got to the condom scene
What?
where
Oh, and the poke.
when
holes in
she's
the-
poking
yeah.
when the girl stabs holes in,
Yeah.
in the
That's
condom,
right, yeah.
and then he goes like, "Do you have one?" And then she's like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Yeah, let me see it."
Yeah.
And then
He opens it.
he opens it up
Fills
and he
with
pours a beer in it.
Oh,
and,
that's right.
and it just like and it leaks everywhere. And then she's like, "Get out of here!" And she's like, "We would be so beautiful together. Get out of here!"
Yeah. I love
Why was
when
that so
Thad-
good?
I don't know why. Alan Richardson just makes that show so much better.
Yeah.
The other episode I remember is where they're getting drug tested for the first time, so they have to all like not do drugs for
Yeah.
for a couple days.
Yeah.
But they're like relapse, or they're like, what is it called when they're like they can't?
The withdrawal.
Their withdrawal
Yeah,
is
withdrawals.
like so
oh,
bad.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 And then the pocket pussy episode.
Oh,
That was so funny.
where they share it's a communal one
Yeah.
for the.
And
it's
it's all Thad's. Too. Thad's his pocket pussy. And he's all like, I got this from my dad. And when I put my thing in it, I'm think of my dad. He's I'm like, what the heck?
Do you remember the episode where he like has a dream sequence, and I think it's because he's trying to decide if he wants to stay in Blue Mountain State for another year?
Yeah.
That episode was so
He
weird.
could have gone pro, or he wants to stay for another year at Blue Mountain State.
Yeah.
I don't know why this show never got me. Like for some reason, I would watch like 2 or 3
Dude,
episodes, and I'd
it
be like, and
has
I would
like
check out.
your humor in it too. That's
Yeah.
And I would check. I would check out, and I'd be like, okay, that's it.
It was very raunchy.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love raunchy humor.
Well, it was during the height of Spike TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And Spike TV can get away with a lot of stuff. I mean, you have 1,000 Ways to Die, Mansers, and stuff like that.
I was around the time about that too.
Yeah. Like,
And the Man Show.
The
and
Man
stuff
Show,
like that.
yeah.
So good. Every
Spike
time
was
I
just
put
like-
my thing in it.
yeah.
I think of my
I
dad.
think of my dad. So great. Just the delivery of that line was just so great.
Oh, man, I love that.
And then, like, he finally gets it back. He's like, I love you, Dad. He's all using it. He's like, I love you so much.
All right, I gotta give Blue Mountain State another try.
Dude, it's so good. Yeah.
dude. It's so great.
That makes me want to rewatch it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Every time
I
we talk
gotta-
about it,
I
I'm like, I have to think about watching it.
I gotta rewatch that.
All right, moving back on to Legos. Preston Matanga, I think is how you pronounce his last name. He's the Lego animator responsible for the Across the Spider-Verse trailer that
Yeah,
was all
yeah.
done in Legos,
Mhm.
and he also did the scene with the Lego scene in the movie itself.
Yes.
He released the trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine on Legos.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys get to see it?
No.
No.
I saw the clip it from which one? The teaser that he did. I didn't get a chance.
with the clips.
It looks good.
It's really good.
He's gonna be amazing
My question is, why hasn't someone picked him up to do more stuff?
because he's 16.
Contract him, dude. Or I hope that, like,
He's a child.
I mean, yeah, but
He's
still,
a child.
Well, if he's
A
not getting
child.
picked up right now,
America has child labor laws.
okay,
Brian.
if he's not
Yeah.
getting picked up right now, 2 years from now,
You
dude,
can't pick up a child, Brian. Stop trying to pick up children.
do you want him to succeed or not?
I do, but
Okay, so then 2 years from
He's
now,
succeeding already.
So Hollywood is doing what they normally do is that they wait until they turn 18.
And then they,
and then they get them.
and then they objectify them.
Yes.
And that's because then it's okay.
I'm gonna make you a star, kid.
Yeah. First they Dan Schneider them, and then they.
Oh my god!
And then when they're
Oh
older,
my
then like they're
God.
all used up, they're just like, okay, here, just go off and do your own
This
thing.
was
after
supposed to
that.
be a wholesome topic. Somehow you guys
Yeah,
made
then
a
they-
left turn
then they-
somewhere.
Yeah, then they go off and put a heart on their face.
Stop. Anyways, if you guys are interested in
Scarred.
following him on
Right.
Twitter, it's LegoMe_the OG. The kid's great. He posts a lot of like work that he does. His Instagram account,
Yeah.
there's like a link tree on there if you guys want to follow
cool.
that. He does a lot of great work.
I wanna-
Honestly,
I want him to have a Lego Master like appearance. You ever seen the show Lego Masters?
oh,
Oh, shit. Is that show still on?
Yeah.
Oh, good for them.
Did you mark the time?
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh right." I just do that.
Yeah. Did you forget, Sean?
2703. Anyway, what was
Guys
it?
don't
Yeah,
know Sean's here.
the Sean is in the room.
Yeah.
No, for Lego Master, I do think that would be interesting if one of the challenges was to make a stop motion video
Yeah.
with the Legos. And then like they had to build like their own environment and then like shoot a stop motion video as a challenge.
That reminds
That
me
would
of
be pretty sick.
The Parks and Rec episode where
Ben, I've been working on this for weeks.
And then he plays it and it's like 2 seconds.
It's 2 seconds, yeah.
He's like,
He goes,
"Oh my god."
Wait, hold on, let me see. And then just
that
goes,
can't be it.
he goes,
Oh my god, that's all of it.
That's it. That's literally what I've been working on.
That's my life's work.
I like how that was the breaking moment for him. That was the realization. He's like, I've been literally working really hard on this thing. And that's all of it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, moving on to more animation stuff. Batman Beyond concept art for an animated series was released.
It's rough.
Yes, it's rough, but I'm happy that it didn't go through yet. There's a reason why. So, if you guys haven't seen all over the internet, Batman Beyond concept art was released by the director of Across the Spider-Verse, Patrick Harpin, and the production designer, Yuki Demers, I think is how you pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
From Across the Spider-Verse. Quote, before we pitched, they warned us, there's absolutely no way we can do a Beyond movie. But they
Which-
loved our enthusiasm.
Yeah.
We pitched the outline for the entire film, and what started as a never turned into a maybe. There's a reason why that switch happened. So, in the interview, it's alluded that who they spoke to were not people a part of DC Studios. They were just executives from Warner
Yeah,
Brothers.
no, that's what even makes it more frustrating. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is that
They didn't send it up the line, down the flagpole.
that's the thing is that it's really interesting that you have the team that did a very successful animated movie of a comic book character, and they're like, oh, we want to do Batman Beyond. It didn't even think of it like, oh, well, that's interesting. Maybe they could do something with that. Before the meeting even happened, they're like, listen, we're not planning on doing one ever.
We're
But
wasting your
just
time.
but we'll give you the time to tell us what you have.
Because we
and
were
stuff like that.
the thing is that they're saying we respect you as creators and we'll hear you out.
Yeah, that's the
But we're not going
yeah.
to push forward with this project,
Yeah.
which is really
makes
silly.
absolutely no sense.
But honestly, that is how Hollywood works.
No,
Yeah.
but it's weird though that
Because who knows?
Oh.
Maybe you were able to sway me.
that's the thing. I don't know what it is with Warner Brothers in general.
They're
is
dumb.
that when they get like an idea, because that's an amazing idea, honestly.
the
Concept
art
art was
works.
The artwork was so good.
Yeah.
I mean, even though it does look like it is part of the Across the Spider-Verse, but it works for Batman Beyond.
I
It
feel
does.
like you could have fiddled with it and made it its own separate thing.
That's the thing is that you can. Across the Spider-Verse, to be fair, uses a bunch of different animation styles.
Yes.
This would be focused on one.
So my only counter argument with agreeing why they would say no is that maybe they don't want to struggle with the idea of not having Kevin Conroy in it, which is an easy right. That's the thing, is you can easily put that Bruce died and Terry is now on his own.
but you have so many other voice actors that can play.
well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean,
in all fairness, I
in
think
the original animated, that's the thing. You have hardcore fans of Batman Beyond that truly treasure Kevin Conroy.
I think
hang
at the
on,
I
so-
think
yeah.
at this point, if you wanted to do that, I feel like Keaton would be a great choice. Give somebody else an awesome, some time behind the belt
So,
of being Bruce.
Bruce Greenwood was good.
Yeah,
Bruce Greenwood
I've
would be an
always said
older.
Bruce Greenwood is good.
Yeah.
Bruce Greenwood would be a good. Would be a good older Batman.
My frustration with the last thing that you said,
Mhm.
right, is that you have hardcore Batman Beyond
That's the
people
thing.
True.
that really would love to see old voice casts
Mhm.
or old voice actors reprise their roles in this movie,
Yeah.
right? If there were hardcore fans for a Beyond series, why have they been so quiet about it?
There
right
haven't.
now, they haven't.
Batman Beyond fans are very loud.
Yes,
when-
I've
when they-
been asking for a Beyond movie or something
Mhm.
like since we started the show years ago.
Well-
My problem is that right now the way it's being advertised is that they're pushing for these people to make the movie
Mhm.
because Across the Spider-Verse was so successful. If that's what it's taking to get a Beyond film to
Mhm.
be done,
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. I just want Batman Beyond to be the centerpiece and not like we're doing it in the style of Across the Spider-Verse with Beyond as like the cover icing on the cake.
I don't because the thing is that I feel like Bruce Timm and them did a really great job of making an aesthetic of the way that Neo Gotham would look like.
Yeah.
And you can always build off of their original drawings and the way that it looked and everything else to make a stylized version of Neo Gotham.
Yeah.
My thinking is that the other problem that we have with this is that Warner Brothers execs are so concentrated on a universe right now. Warner Brothers only sees the Disney model as like, this is the only way it works.
That's
and
the thing. It's so ridiculous.
and because the thing is that they're making they want to make these movies and then they go, these are great ideas and everything else, but it doesn't connect to another universe. This needs to be able to, because if you look at even what James Gunn was saying inside of his original thing, he said that the games, the cartoons, the movies, everything is going to connect. It's going to be a giant universe that you can then interact with and everything else. That's their original idea for Gods and Monsters.
Which is great. That I have.
It's
no
an
problem
interesting idea, but
It
the problem is that when you become too convoluted with everything being connected, then creativity becomes strained.
Yes.
Because now I'm stuck into a model and I cannot pull out of it.
Going back to this idea of like who they probably pitched this idea to. I have this feeling, and I get it, like to some degree, not every exec that's involved in the process of this production is going to know like what connects to when. This even happens with like Marvel, right? I can guarantee you it happens. But I feel like it happens more often in Warner Brothers, where the people that have the money in the pockets don't know what's going on. They probably think that the Batman that came out like almost 2 years ago at this point is probably connected to the DCU when it isn't. And that's kind of the frustrating thing, is they probably saw this movie as like, oh, well, you know, Beyond is never in the plans because we can't really connect it to the main universe right now, when it could just exist as its own standalone thing, just like the Batman. And the Batman is one of the best and most successful versions of that movie, of that character to ever come out.
Because my thinking is that if you can't have Conroy, I feel like you can't also have Will Ferrell, the person who originally voiced Terry McGinnis.
I mean, that's the thing, is you would probably have to recast if that's the thing. But I don't know. I mean, I would love if Freddle came back, you know, and did the voice of Terry, of an older Terry.
Yeah.
You know?
Something.
Sean, I understand that you were trying to be quiet and put a post-it note, but I can't read what the hell you put.
Oh, Dietrich Bader.
Oh
the
my
voice
God.
actor from Batman the Brave and the Bold. Which I don't agree with, honestly.
No, crumble that up. Now throw it back at him. Be like, garbage.
Wait, turn on the mic, Sean.
Go ahead and try.
I want to know why Dietrich Bader.
Pitch your idea.
Yeah, pitch Dietrich Bader.
It's
for
never
me.
gonna happen, but just know.
No, pitch me Dietrich Bader because that's an interesting pick.
I mean, he's got a lot of range, you know. I feel like
Shut your
I mean,
mouth.
oh, God.
No, but keep going.
Batman the Brave and the Bold, I feel it's like it people kind of slept on it, and he did a really good job embodying like that really comic book, like iconic Batman that you would get in the detective comics, you know. So I feel like he could probably age it up a bit and still be kind of chiseled and not so cartoony.
I feel like Dietrich Bader is the perfect. I'm going to do an Adam West like that Batman.
Okay, thank God. Yeah, I can see that. That's
Yeah.
those are clips I've been hearing.
I feel like that's what that's what his designs looks like it's based off of. And
Yeah.
in the animation style is that it's
And
a
the
very
villains,
it's
the
very-
whole
very-
series.
It's very close to Batman 66.
that's what I'm saying. That it takes place more of like the more hokey version of Batman, where it's like you said in the 60s, and during that time in the comic books, it was very much like, oh, Batman is gonna face the Condiment King and stuff. Like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Not the villains that take seriously, and not these
Not the
darker
A-listers.
stories.
I am telling you right now, I need the Batman to open up with him defeating the Condiment King. If it doesn't,
It's just
Matt Reeves, you're doing it wrong.
It just opens with like him beating up the Condiment King. There's ketchup and mustard all over
Yeah.
his
Dude,
suit.
I think that would be hilarious. Could you imagine? He's just like beating him up, and you just see it splattered and everything else. And the first scene, you're like, oh my God, Batman's gone wild. And then all of a sudden, it's just like,
It's just the Condiment
yeah,
King.
he's just like, oh, he sprayed you again, didn't he? And he's just like, yeah, I got dry cleaning.
Yeah.
Is
Dude, every
terrible.
time someone
Alfred
tries-
just gets a hot dog and just wipes it.
Just wipes it down.
You see Commissioner Gordon? Just,
Every time someone tries to pitch The Brave and the Bold to me, dude, I get so angry.
it's
Why?
good.
I heard it's good. It's just the
You've
animation
never
doesn't
watched
like-
Batman the Brave and the Bold?
No, the animation
It's
doesn't.
okay.
You know
appeal
what?
to me.
I feel like now you would appreciate it.
No, I already know the episode that you would love, and it's super good. The Music Meister.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
with Neil Patrick Harris.
Okay.
By far, one of the best episodes of Brave and the Bold. It got an Emmy.
I gotta watch it because if you guys are recommending it, it's fine. It's just the wrong people keep recommending it to me. And
Who
I'm like,
he's
I don't-
recommending it to, that's wrong.
people.
Okay.
You know,
want
who.
to say on the podcast.
I don't want to say on the show, but it's people.
John.
And I'm just like,
It's John.
no, it's not John, dude. He recommended Harley Quinn, and I love Harley Quinn. He did me no wrong, dude.
I feel if you had to pick an older Batman to take it, who would? No, I'm talking to you, Rene.
Oh, I was like, what? What's up?
He just, it's a line right here.
No.
It's a straight line.
You didn't talk to his heart,
little
dude. You didn't talk to
fine.
his soul.
Who would you pick?
Peter Weller.
There we go.
There you go.
You know what? Peter Weller actually would be a really good one.
I'm the Batman.
Well, he did a great job in The Dark Knight.
yeah, he did. Yeah.
What about you? Who'd you pick
Dead or
Who'd I pick?
alive.
For old Bruce,
for old Bruce?
I like Bruce Greenwood, dude. I
Bruce
really-
Greenwood.
Yeah, I really like his voice. I thought we were having this argument issues ago where it was either Bruce Greenwood or what's his name? Soldier Boy?
Oh, Jensen Ackles.
Jensen
Yeah,
Ackles.
Yeah.
And I heard him and I'm like, he's pretty good, but he's a young Batman.
Yeah,
and Bruce Greenwood has done some roles where it's a more
seasoned Batman.
seasoned Batman, which I can
A little,
like.
little
yeah.
more seasoned.
Yeah, and I feel like if you just lower his voice a little bit, it'd be
I feel like age him up just a little bit and everything else. I mean, because it's hard. No matter who everybody's gonna be like, it's not Kevin.
no,
But-
it's not. But get over it.
Yeah.
no disrespect, but
he's
get
dead.
over it. All right, we're going to be talking about this topic later on the show, but let's bring this up real quick. Avatar: The Last Airbender releases on Netflix to mild reviews. People are saying it's okay. Some people are saying it's bad.
It's gonna get a
But
second season.
the
Yeah.
reason I'm bringing it up in comic strips is that there is an animated movie in the works. This will take this story will follow Team Avatar in their late 20s, early 30s.
Oh yeah, I heard
Made
about
by the
this.
This was
creators.
announced last year, but
I
it came
remember.
back up again, and I did some research on it. If you go on IMDb, it's listed as Avatar: The Last Airbender, Echoes, and Aftershocks.
Yes, it's but this one. Okay, so there's a difference between the two.
Mhm.
This animated series is made with the creators.
Yes, the
of
OGs.
Avatar, the OG creators of Avatar. That's who is making this.
Yes.
Whereas the show that came out on Netflix
They left.
had the original creators, and then they left to go do their own thing, and they said that it was because of creative differences that they had to leave, and then they were like, "We're gonna go do our," but then they ended up making the Avatar studio. Are you guys having a conversation? You guys just do? Are you
No,
guys
we're the creators
Oh, okay.
leaving Netflix.
Um, but they ended up going and making their own Avatar studio, and they've been working on whatever else it is.
Yeah, no.
So
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, no, there
trying to
was
inform.
I'm not. I'm just being
We're
stupid.
communicating. No, they left the live action show because they said that they couldn't put in their creative input. So that's part of the reason why.
They also I think they disagreed with some things in which I can kind of see.
Yeah.
I can see where they may have disagreed with certain things.
There's only one original showrunner on there from
For the live action.
for the live action. I think he got hit with all the responsibility. Jurassic Park is back in the news.
I actually thought you were going to talk about the other thing from Avatar.
What?
One of the main characters from this season
Of the live action?
of the live action.
We're talking about the live action later.
I understand that, but it's also a portion of it's just like a small snippet.
All right, hit me.
So the guy that plays Zhao, when he went out to go read for the show,
Oh, that's right.
he thought he was auditioning for James Cameron's Avatar.
Yeah.
So when do I become a blue person?
That's why he was like. So apparently they were like,
Where's Jake Sully?
So he
I'm
goes,
looking
I
at the
didn't.
script.
No, so he said it was very generic, like the writing, and it was like very Commander-esque and everything else. So he thought he was going to be a bad guy in the new he thought he was going to be a bad guy, and then they go, "What project is this for?" And they go, "Oh, it's for Avatar." And he goes, and he immediately in his head he goes, "Oh, James Cameron." He goes, "This is a James Cameron thing. I'm definitely in."
Very excited
Who are
for that.
these agents?
And then he got the script and it said The Last Airbender, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and he was like, "What's that?" And he had to
Yeah,
go off and look.
Winnavi?
He had to go look it up, and that's when he was like, "Oh, this is a totally different thing
What
that I
is wrong
agreed
with
to."
agents, dude? We get this with Dakota Johnson trying to
Yeah.
thinking that she's going to be in the MCU. When
Yeah,
she's
there's
not.
I don't know where like the disconnect between studios
and the
and
agents.
agents, or you know what it honestly could be? It really could be the fact that everybody's trying to keep things secret.
So from what I've heard,
It's a lot of
I
misinformation.
heard Dakota Johnson fired her agent.
She
after
did.
Yeah.
After she learned that this was a Sony Spider-Man movie.
And not an MCU one. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
You misrepresented me, and then I signed on to this garbage, and I'm stuck.
Contractually
Contract-
obligated
yeah,
to do this
exactly.
movie. Yeah.
I mean, I get that to a point where a studio's trying to keep things secret, and that's probably why certain things aren't, But you could at least say, "Oh, this is for Avatar, not James Cameron's Avatar."
The-
You don't have to disclose that much information.
In all fairness, I mean,
Or if
there's
it's-
not a lot different. I mean,
Yeah, sure. Okay. In Jurassic Park news, it's back. A new movie set to release July 25th, 2025, with supposedly David Leitch. He was the director of Bullet Train and The Fall Guy, which is releasing later on this year.
David Lynch.
David Leitch.
Oh, okay.
He was supposed to direct this new Jurassic Park movie, but then said he wasn't going to do it because there wasn't going to be enough flexibility for some creative input into the movie. So he basically said, can't do it.
where does the last Jurassic Park movie kind of leave off?
Don't know, never watched it.
I never watched Dominion. No.
Because if I remember correctly, there's dinosaurs now in the ecosystem of like planet Earth,
Yeah.
and like it's a normal thing for like dinosaurs to be around. And then 2, they go to like this
Wait, Jurassic
new-
World?
in Dominion.
Yeah.
They go
It's
to
a-
this new place, this new like facility where they're trying to breed dinosaur DNA for medicine.
This is the new one?
In the last one.
Yeah. And the last one, and then they're breeding dinosaurs for like medicine, and then it's Jurassic Park all over again. Like everything just starts falling apart. And
The
then
original Jurassic Park was for that reason. They were trying to extract dinosaur
That's
DNA
why
for like science.
That's why Dominion didn't do.
that's
great
why
as it
Dominion.
was.
It's the same thing, and all they did was
the only marketing aspect was that we're gonna get the new characters from Jurassic World
And bring the
then
old
Jurassic
cast.
Park characters.
And
We're
bring
gonna
it
have
really-
an Avengers.
And it has
moment.
Chris Pratt.
yeah.
There you go. Well, they have a list of directors they want to bring on. Gareth Edwards, director of The Creator and the Godzilla that started the MonsterVerse, is high on their list of potential directors.
He'd be an interesting one.
Depending on how much input he has,
Probably not a lot.
I
If
hope
they're-
they
if-
kind of leave him some.
Well, that's the thing. If what was the last director? Oh, if David Lynch didn't have much creative control,
No.
Look,
I hardly think they'll let the next director
Look
be
at-
like.
look at how much he had on Star Wars.
Rogue
with-
One. Rogue One was still a great movie.
But he got cut out of the editing room at a certain point because he wanted to make the movie too dark.
Yeah.
They cut and reshot an entire ending scene.
Yeah.
And Gareth Edwards was like, that wasn't my original vision. And
Wasn't his
everything
original
else.
vision, but I love
Do you know how
it.
cool that scene would have been of you like marching the beach with like a hard drive trying to dodge AT-ATs? Sick.
Oh yeah, that was the way it was supposed to end, huh?
Mhm.
Rogue One's still such a beautiful movie, man.
It's still a really
It's
good
okay.
movie.
It's okay. Don't look at me like that. You know it's okay.
It's the only like recent Star Wars movie I actually like.
Yeah.
I actually like the movie, not just because of the Darth Vader scene.
Darth Vader scene's pretty sick.
It's pretty sick. I just wouldn't list it as its own separate thing on a list of top 10 Star Wars movies.
Wait, what?
Oh, we'll
That's a
tell you
discussion for
afterwards.
later.
Yeah.
Wait,
I
people
just-
have been separating it and going like,
People
well, that's
have-
That's
better.
my favorite movie.
That's their favorite movie.
Well, then they're dumb.
Yeah. No, because it's a dumb thing to say.
That's a very dumb thing
The
to say.
last 10 minutes of Rogue One.
Yeah, that's a very dumb thing to say.
That's why it's on number 1 on my list.
Borderlands releases a trailer.
Oh,
finally.
yes.
Showcasing Kate Blanche, Ariana Greenblatt, Jamie Lee Curtis, Kevin Hart, and others in character.
Why Kevin Hart?
Right?
The most unopposing person you could possibly
Isn't
find.
that character supposed to be serious too?
He is very serious.
Yeah, and they got Kevin Hart. I would have thought maybe Terry Crews.
Terry Crews would have been a great choice.
Yeah, it would have been a better choice.
That would have been a sick choice. Yeah, Terry Crews would have been an amazing choice.
I mean,
for that
congrats
Yeah.
to Kevin Hart. Sure, he got a role,
one.
but like
Kevin Hart was going to get it no matter what.
Yeah,
He's
like,
bankable. He's
I don't know what
bankable.
it
That role.
is. People are saying that Kevin Hart might be like a plant. That's the thing of like in Hollywood.
Ever since Cat Williams.
Yeah.
I know you said you didn't like this actress. I really love the fact that
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Ariana Greenblatt is
Yeah.
playing Tiny Tina.
Yeah.
I like her as an actress.
She's cool.
She's cool. I feel like she's got a lot of potential to grow as long
But
as
to
she doesn't
make
go
her
Rachel
as
Ziegler.
like, but that's the thing. To make her as part of like the main like
Cast.
narrative,
Yeah.
that character. That's the thing. Having that
Tina.
character. Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
I mean, to me, when I'm looking at this movie, I don't see it being potentially good. If I'm there just to have a good time, like Uncharted,
I'm
okay with that.
Yeah.
You're not expecting a good time
I'm
like
not
Uncharted?
expecting. No.
This movie. You know what? Honestly, I feel like if it's as fun as like Jumanji, then it possibly could.
Yeah, Jumanji was okay.
That's true.
It possibly could be really.
If
it
it's
could be pretty
as good as Jumanji, then I'll
because
let it slide.
Jumanji, I thought was going to be a train wreck.
That it could have been.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Jumanji,
It really could.
when you talk about the premise of that movie,
Yeah.
you're like, oh.
Yeah, as soon as you tell someone like, oh yeah, so the board game evolves into a game console,
Changes to a video game.
and then it becomes a video game at that point. And at that point, you're kind of like, wait, what?
How does
Like,
that happen?
Yeah,
Power of Jumanji.
the power of Jumanji.
Jumanji.
It evolves. Yeah.
Because nobody plays board games anymore.
Nope,
Nobody plays
it's all
board
video
games.
games. An
Yeah.
old classic
Savages.
video game.
Well, if it was back in maybe like in 2021, it would have like, oh wait, people like board games. Let me go back to this. Like,
So I have a
Right?
question.
Yeah.
Now does it just transform into a VR headset, and then it's just
Right?
it's just like put me on.
The Apple Vision Pro.
Oh, God.
It's just there,
My
dude.
brother set me up for a demo of it the other day.
Is he trying to sell you on the Apple Vision Pro?
Huh?
Is he trying to sell you on
No,
the
he
Apple-
was just saying I should try it.
Yeah, just try
Have
it.
you
Why not?
seen the meme of like everyone when they get those things and they're just in public like like one guy comes out of his
We
Tesla.
saw that.
Yeah,
We
like-
saw it
yeah.
over at LA Comic Con.
Did we?
Oh,
in the
that's
middle of a
yes.
panel.
Yeah.
There was one dude in the middle of the panel, and like he's
like-
all the way in the back, and he's watching the panel, and he's
going like this.
he's doing something.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was doing, and then I turned to Rene, and I was like, "Is that guy on his Oculus?"
I was like, is that why is he on his
But
Oculus?
the
He's at
Apple
a
Vision Pro wasn't out yet.
No, it was on his Oculus. It was on his. It was. He was on his.
Yeah, he was
on his.
like this.
Yeah,
See,
he was on his Oculus.
I don't mind VR headsets. I think that's fine. Keep making them. Just don't take them out in public.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because at some point, you're gonna stop seeing this and this. You're gonna start seeing like this, or yeah, yeah. Like,
it's the only way I can get it
yeah,
up.
that's the thing. It's the only way I can keep it up. Like,
Oh, you start hearing his choke me, and then he's.
Oh, shoot! I forgot where I was. Sorry.
I have to use my own hands. If I close my eyes, then I can imagine it's you.
Let me send you more funds. Hold on. You said 20? 20? Okay.
Hold on.
Hold on.
I mean, that's how they did it. That's how Master Chief does it in Halo. Right?
Oh God.
Is that how Master Chief does it in Halo?
Yeah.
His helmet HUD is no longer bullets and health. It's just naked Cortana, and he's just like, yes.
It's only a matter of time until they start adding like smell-o-vision onto that or something, dude.
Smell-o-vision?
Smell-o-vision on there, dude.
The technology
The
from
technology.
1995.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna happen again. It's
Do
just
you
bring it
remember
back.
smell-o-vision movies?
No, I remember the smelly stickers you scratch.
Yeah,
You
the
know?
stickers they would give you as you went into the movie, and then you would see like,
Oh,
scratch that.
it was
That does smell like feet.
That's what we can do.
You want to
We
take?
can make smelly stickers and sell them for people that have Apple Vision Pro.
What is wrong with
Out of
you?
all the ideas we had,
that? Was
That's the-
that's the
$1
one you want to do.
It's
$1
because-
million idea.
It was
dude.
the feet thing that sold you, wasn't it?
Yes,
I said
honestly,
feet- I
because-
said feet, and you
because we could
immediately
do
went,
that,
"Yeah,
dude.
we could do
We
that."
would be selling so much, dude.
All right.
This is the $1 million podcast.
I will
dude.
I will
That's
donate my
the
sweaty
$1 million
socks.
idea.
That's the $1 million idea. Forget
All the other-
everything else.
all-
Forget the JC OnlyFans account. This is it.
No.
Smelly stickers for
No,
Apple
the
Vision
JC
Pro.
OnlyFans, I feel like still
What if?
That's still $1 million
What
idea.
if alongside the
patent
JC,
pending.
alongside the JC calendar, we sell JC stickers for Smell-O-Vision,
Can we?
and when you scratch the stickers, it smells like nothing.
That's true. You want to see what John Cena
I
smells
feel like I don't know who, but they're gonna sue somebody.
At some point, yeah.
Somebody's gonna sue.
Oh my God, it smells
no.
just like JC.
What are you talking about?
What?
I feel like if you scratch it, it should just smell like Axe body spray.
No, it smells like nothing.
It has to smell like box body spray.
Why?
Because
You
I
say
feel
JC,
like
and I
be-
feel like
be-
like a
JC
church
Penney?
is gonna find. Oh, we can get stickers that smell like JC, everyone, and they pass them out right before.
You want to smell Jesus Christ for a second?
Why does it
Go
smell?
ahead, my brothers and sisters. Scratch your stickers.
Why does
You
it?
can smell what JC smells.
Dude, double. We could sell the JC calendar for that reason. People won't know that it's John Cena. The empty room
Wait,
is
hold on.
God's presence.
We can sell it as just the Holy Spirit.
We could totally sell it as the Holy Spirit, dude. The JC calendars. People would think it's John Cena.
All we have to do is put
or
a cross in
Jesus
the back.
Christ, dude.
That's all we have to do is
In
put
the
a cross in the
background
background
somewhere, dude.
And John
It's
Cena
tiny.
is Christian.
Big.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
freaking
God.
brilliance, dude. We just reinvented the wheel, dude.
It's not a bad idea. That's the bad part. The worst part is that it's not a bad idea.
Because it's
That's
not,
the-
dude.
that
You
is
think
the
we make
problem.
stupid ideas on this show?
That we do. That
No,
is-
we
that-
don't,
That's
dude.
our
This
entire.
entire show is
that
just
is our
brilliance,
bit.
dude.
That's our bit. No, this is not a think
This is
tank.
not a bit, dude. This is reality.
This is. This is not. This is not. This is not.
Forget the show. The show's not going on
Listen,
right now.
this
This,
is not-
this is a boardroom meeting.
Yeah.
This is
Where
not
we're
Los
discussing
Alamos,
anything.
all right. We're not trying to build the ad mom. This is. I'm gonna sell you butt jokes.
Jesus Christ calendars, dude.
Oh my
Black
God.
John Cena,
Calendar.
JC
Dude, we
calendars,
could sell them at
dude.
Trump rallies.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
they would
Dude,
sell it,
they
Trump
would
rallies.
sell.
Oh, dude.
Sean,
They
do you think they'd sell?
Sean has no say in this. Sean has no say in this. He's gonna be along for the ride, dude.
Can we put now? I have a question. Can we put a rainbow somewhere in there, just so that way we can get like it's also a pride thing.
So one of the months it'll be clouds and
Just hitting
rainbows
all
in the
this,
background,
all
dude.
the spectrum.
Wait, you can just have a cloud with a rainbow.
Mhm. People won't know.
Oh my God!
People won't know. And
You can put that on
With
April.
jorts. Can the rainbow land into jorts?
what if the little towelette has a rainbow, dude?
You can use that for both St. Patrick's Day and then also April. That's it, yeah. Like, for the month of April and March. It's a rainbow, and then
We gotta
on
make
March,
these quick.
It's a rainbow but with jorts.
We gotta talk to some people and figure it out. 'cause
John Cena, if you're listening to the show, give us a call.
I swear to God, John Cena, if you're listening to this show and you steal my idea, I will find
Your
you.
idea. This is the community idea.
You can't find
Find
him.
you.
You can't find him.
How do you find him, dude?
Yeah.
We take photos and they're all invisible. He's not there, dude.
I'm just gonna run around splashing water on people, just in random areas. Just he's not there.
Quick. Finally get him. There's like a silhouette in a brick wall. He's there, guys.
Yeah.
Just throwing baby powder at people.
Oh,
in the
hollow man
crowds.
status.
Just throwing baby powder at things. Just he's right there. You know what? Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, that's a simple solve in Hollow Man. Just throw baby powder.
Yeah.
Why not just throw baby
Just
powder at him?
kinda-
And then like he's there.
And look at the movement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps up the Borderlands trailer
That's
talk
silly.
right there. Moving on. Yeah, it was all Borderlands right there, guys. Congrats. Moving on for the Pokemon fans. Pokemon Day is February 27th with a stream scheduled to reveal Pokemon news February 27th starting at 6 a.m. Pacific time.
I swear to God, if the next Pokemon game has guns in it, I'm gonna be like the Rob Power.
Okay, so first of all, not Pal World. Rumors include emulated ports of Red, Blue, Yellow, Silver, Gold, and Crystal, Fire Red, and Leaf Green to release on the Switch Game Boy emulator with Sapphire,
Wow.
Ruby, and Emerald on the Game Boy Advance emulator.
I'd be down for Fire Red.
To play it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
haven't played that in years.
they're hoping that they also can connect to Pokemon Home. So that way you can kind of store your Pokemon in like the online vault as well.
What about if they made a good game instead of just going back into their library?
Pal World's a
and then-
gimmick. Just get over it, dude.
No. I legitimately that's the way I feel
Yeah.
about Pokemon games now.
So-
is that they don't have any solid new ideas or good
Well, that's
ideas.
That's just Nintendo at that point.
And-
Basically.
but that's Game Freak in general. Game Freak is not a good gaming studio.
Mhm.
They do not make good games.
No, they haven't. But
They
Pokemon's still fun.
but the thing is that is it?
yes,
It's really not though.
for you it's not. But there's a reason why it still sells so many copies and why people still
It's
play it.
nostalgia.
No,
At this
well,
point,
nostalgia sells. That's the thing.
At this point,
Yeah.
it's nostalgia because every single time a Pokemon game comes out, everybody goes, the game wasn't that great, the story wasn't that good. What was it? The legendaries are
not
kind
for
of
Scarlet and
lame.
Violet. There's a lot of people. See, here's my problem, and this is
No, it
why.
was the DLC that people were enjoying, not the original
No,
game.
the original game was good. Arvin's storyline was really, really good. What do you did you play Scarlet and Violet? And you
Hey,
didn't
Sean,
like Arvin's
Sean's
storyline?
like,
Sean, turn that mic on. Join me.
Pokemon is like for people who buy iPhones. You know, you just buy the same iPhone over and over and over again, and it's like, oh my gosh, we got swipe to text. Did you? Yeah, we've had that on Android for like the past 4 or 5 years.
All right, so no. Now because now you're now
Pokemon
that,
is
that
stale.
Actually, that comment
It's
did
stale.
make me a little bit upset because
It's over. It's overhyped.
Actually
Pokemon is
upset. Now I'm
overhyped.
I'm actually upset because here's the thing: no one, especially me, have never forced Pokemon on any one of you guys here. Ever.
Wait, what?
I've never forced Pokemon on you guys to like it or play it or anything else.
No one's talking about you.
No, but what I'm saying is this: if you're gonna make a one-to-one comparison to people like iPhones because it's the same thing over and over and over again, then you have to understand that you are talking to people that are trying to force the game on you. No one else is doing
But hold
that.
on,
Hang on, I'm not done. My thing is
it's
this.
not
No,
that.
hang on. My thing is this: if Pokemon doesn't work and it should stop doing, then why is it still selling so many copies? Why is it that it's selling so much merchandise? People
Influencers.
people are enjoying the fun aspect out of it. Here's the thing: I don't need anyone to tell me that it's going to be a bad game. I enjoyed the crap out of Scarlet and Violet. I enjoy the remakes when they come out. I enjoy all the concept, all the things that come out of Pokemon. Okay, the reason Power World really pissed me off.
Nobody was talking about Power World.
No. It's because I'm circling around this. The reason it pisses me off is because both communities were acting like freaking children. This is why I don't get involved in the gaming community anymore. Because all they do is try to see whose dick is bigger. No one cares. People like Power World. No one's telling you you can't.
But they don't send death threats.
People like Pokemon. There is no reason to come out and say like, well, Pokemon's such a bad game. Pokemon shouldn't exist. Pokemon should learn better. Yes, all developers should learn how to make better games, and Game Freak is no excuse for it. The what is it called? The terrarium in the DLC is barren. It should look 10 times better because Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom looked that much better. But did I still play over 150 hours of Scarlet and Violet? Yes, I enjoy it. So my problem is if there are people there who are constantly saying, if you buy Pokemon, you're no better than an iPhone user, then bring in the facts. Not something along the lines of, I didn't simply enjoy it and I don't like people that like it.
I feel like I didn't know that was a pressure point for you.
It
I know
is.
to be compared to
No,
an iPhone
it
user.
is. It was a pressure.
No,
And I'm sorry. I don't mean to be an ass about it, but
hold-
no, I'm going to apologize because I don't want to be like all rude about it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It's not fair for people that liked Pokemon who don't actually like bring it on people and force it on people to be constantly berated by, well, it's such a bad game. That's all it is.
Here's the reason why I understand where Sean is coming from of it's like an iPhone. And this is the reason why. iPhones have the same thing over and over and again, and then they add like a small thing to it, and then everybody says that it's revolutionary. This is what we've always needed.
Yeah.
And if you do compare the two between this and Pokemon, they're very similar.
It
Where
makes sense.
Similar to a point.
no,
The
here's-
format, the
hang
battle
on.
format's the
battle
same.
format is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Traveling, and then all they did is they said, "Oh, we lowered the camera, and now Pokemon pop up and everything else." And then everybody goes, "It's an amazing game." Oh yes, but the problem is that it didn't change any of the battle mechanics. It didn't change any of the EVs. It actually took away things that people really liked. So that way, it actually made the game less fun for some people. Not only that, but also Pokemon. It doesn't add anything. The fact that people buy the game knowing it's going to be a terrible game, knowing not necessarily a terrible game, but the fact that it's going to have a lot of bugs, the fact that we know that the environment is not going to work correctly, the fact that we know that, yes, it's not going to have a lot of sprites and it's not going to do everything else. If you keep buying the same product every single time, even though you know it's going to be there and you just go, it's a Pokemon game, it's supposed to be that way. That's the reason why Game Freak knows it doesn't matter what I do, you'll buy it. And not only that, but also that is also the reason why when a game like Power World came out, it was kind of like a threat because immediately as soon as that game
A
came,
threat to the developers or a threat to the fans?
developers.
Okay, then excuse the fact that the Power World people, the fans playing that game, were going after Pokemon fans.
But Pokemon fans were doing the same thing.
Exactly.
So hold on.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, I'm not talking about the fans though. I'm talking about the game studio.
The developer.
As soon as that game came out, immediately Game Freak comes out and says, "We're gonna sue. We're gonna sue you. We're gonna take the entire studio. You guys are going down, and this game is never gonna complete being made." The reason being is because it's a threat. Because you put a game and you went, look, if I gave half the effort to make a real game instead of just taking the same game, porting it over, and changing the map.
Yeah.
If I were to actually spend the time, make a game, actually put brand new mechanics, new ways of making Pokeballs, new ways of capturing Pokemon, or doing anything else, and actually having a developed story. Immediately, as soon as that happened, that was why Game Freak was stressed out, because they were like, wait a minute, if people are going to start seeing what can happen inside of Unreal, because people have been saying they should move to Unreal for years. Mm-hmm. You should move to Unreal. The only reason why they're sticking to the old thing is because people will still buy it because of nostalgia.
Yeah.
But once you see, oh, this is what it looks like in Unreal, it's pretty sick. This is really cool. Game Freak immediately went, hey, this is bad. Because now people have an expectation for the next Pokemon game going, as soon as that game gets announced, that brand new one, no matter what it is, it's now going to be compared to Power World. And people are going to say Power World is a better game because they didn't change anything.
So my question is, if people have already jumped off ship to stop playing Pokemon because it doesn't change, then don't talk about it. The reason I got so triggered by the fact that it was compared that way is because, again, is that if it's a game that it's not interested, or people aren't interested anymore because they've moved on, they've already either outgrown it, they don't see it changing, they don't have fun with it anymore, that's perfectly fine. They can go on their way. I'm not a consumer that's buying Pokemon because I'm expecting the next generation to be better. I'm buying it, like Rene said, for the nostalgia factor. I enjoy spending hours and hours and hours collecting and completing my Pokedex. I don't even play competitively. I'm not expecting the groundbreaking game that's going to change my life. I'm just happy to be in the world of Pokemon. And I think that this is where this gets mistaken. Yes, Game Freak needs to design a better game. Game Freak can do a better game. When they were given the chance to do it with Legends Arceus, they never even promoted it correctly. Arceus changed the battle mechanic a lot more. They changed the way the game plays. Never got the advertisement it deserves. And the cult little fan base that Arceus had is the reason why it became a popular game a year after it was released.
But Arceus also, its sprites were weak.
It's
like the amount of
changed.
it doesn't. It's supposed to be an open world game.
But internally, it got popular because of the people that said, if you guys want something different that's not mainline and want to promote something in a direction that Game Freak can change, Arceus is the way to do it.
It's definitely an attempt.
It is an attempt, and I think it's a good attempt. The reason I feel like we diverted off the path of like the Pokemon news that's supposed to release. I think that when it comes down to it, and this is my only message to it, if people like Pokemon, enjoy Pokemon. If people like Power World, like Power World. But to basically look at the two and be like, well, if you like, Power World's so much better. I'm going to say this. Power World is a gimmick. It's a gimmick. It's a strong gimmick because it looks fun and there are a lot of things that make it interesting. But when you compare it to something like the next game I'm about to talk about, Power World versus this next game, no way is Power World going to last.
But my thinking is that Game Freak needs to stop relying on their more popular games.
They do.
Because every single announcement that Game Freak makes lately has been, do you remember Green? Do you remember Black?
Right now, they're falling back on a bunch of remakes.
And they're literally going, we're just going to get the same game. We're going to regurgitate it back to you. And I know you're going to pay me for it.
And I'll gladly pay for it.
But the problem is that when you do that and you allow a game developer to keep spitting in your face, they're going to keep on doing it. And they're going to say, it's okay because you were foolish enough to buy the product. The only way they will stop making the product.
From Sword and Shield to Scarlet and Violet, I found so many different changes that I enjoyed Scarlet and Violet more than Sword and Shield.
That's fine.
Even though it's the same premise of the game.
But the thing is that when you get red, blue, all these other games, and you're just regurgitating them out and saying you're gonna have to pay an extra $1.50 for them, $2. They know you're gonna pay for it.
I'm paying for the online system already, so why not? I'm fine with it. That's the thing. I know there's millions of other people that are. Point being, I think it's good news.
There definitely has to be a change, because no matter what, video game companies right now, especially AAA titles, AAA video game companies like Game Freak, like Ubisoft, like anybody, like all these other ones, they think no matter what I make, you're going to buy because it's a AAA. But that's a problem.
I don't know what the thing is. It's a problem, but I'm going to buy it. That's the thing.
Because look at Arceus. Arceus, you were falling through the map. Sprites weren't going through. Artifacts weren't coming in. Textures weren't developing.
Okay.
It's a bad game.
To get back to the point here, the rumors are that they're gonna release these all on the emulators. Remakes of Gen 5 Black and White are also supposedly going to be coming out, with a new Legends game supposedly rumored, and people are saying Gen 10 is not going to be announced here because Scarlet and Violet haven't reached its 3rd year yet. It's only in its 2nd year. Regardless of the news that's going to happen here, I'm excited for it. I know millions of other people are still excited for Pokemon Day. Millions of people are still going to buy the new Pokemon game. It's what it is. Yeah. And if people are upset about it, suck it. Who cares? It's not your game. It's not your company you're going to root for. Go play Pal World. Go play what is this? Helldivers. Play whatever game is out there. No one needs that kind of negativity when it comes to Pokemon. If Game Freak's going to fail on its own, let it fail, because it's stupid. Eventually, a company will succumb to its own failures. And right now, there are millions of Pokemon fans that are enjoying the games for what they are.
The only thing is, the only thing is that the reason why I'm bringing it up is because it's a deeper problem in the gaming industry.
No, and it is. It is.
It's a deeper problem in the gaming industry. I
understand your point. That's the thing. It is that it's basically you're just basically what you said. You're regurgitating the same thing, and consumers will continue to buy it, and it's a chain that won't stop. Yeah. Unfortunately, it won't stop right away. Until
consumers say we're not going to take it anymore.
That's the thing.
Yeah, and wait until we get sick of it. It's our problem, not your problem. You're not buying into it. That's my problem to deal with when it comes.
But it becomes...
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. Give it another 15 years or
But the thing is that it does become my problem, because then game developers make bad games, and because you buy it, they make bad games.
Game Freak isn't the only one.
I understand that. Ubisoft, Game Freak, BioWare. What was it? EA.
Yeah, all of them.
Name every single.
THQ.
Do
they do that too as well?
Every
2K
single
was
one.
Problem with it too.
Unless if it's anything AAA, it sucks.
Then you know what you should do? Go buy those games that are indie. Go support it.
I do. That's why I bought Helldivers.
Yeah, exactly. Go do that.
That's why I bought Helldivers. That's why I bought Helldivers. That's why I bought Power World.
I'm gonna go enjoy Pokemon, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Are you gonna buy Helldivers?
When it comes out on Xbox.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's talk about Helldivers. So Helldivers 2 takes over the video game space. Servers are at full capacity, with players waiting hours to join the servers to fight for freedom. Reason not anymore is because they increased the server capacity up to 700,000 concurrent players, where it was originally running 400 to 500,000 players at a time.
Can you imagine just being there in like the server and be like, God damn it, when did the surge come in?
What do we do? Here's the interesting thing about it. So the director of the game, Sean mentioned this a couple days ago, has been very active on social media, Twitter, Discord, been talking a lot about the game and putting some very positive spins to it. He's been updating the public with really great updates on when the game is going to be getting improvements, so on and so forth. And he has addressed a couple concerns and questions that the community has brought up, specifically about hiring more devs to improve the status of the game, which he has said he is not for, because of the turnovers. You hire devs to improve the servers, increase the space. Once that problem gets solved, what happens to those devs? Bye-bye, get out of here. Thanks for your service. Doesn't help. So said, wait up. We're going to work with what we got and make this game better for you guys in the future. He's also talked about potential players to not buy the game and say, if you guys are wanting to play the game and can't get in, I completely understand. There are plenty of other shooters. Go play those games. Come back in a couple weeks to a couple months. And then once the game is improved, we'll still be here We don't want you guys to stop playing the game.
I was really surprised when I logged in yesterday
Mhm.
because I literally logged in and I was like, all right, I'm going to go make a sandwich
Yeah.
because I got time. And then I clicked a button and I immediately got into my ship and I was like, oh, I have no time to make a sandwich. It's time to play.
So there's been some inconsistencies with like some server space because apparently they've kind of done some calculations to see when the space has been opened up.
Yeah.
Normal work hours is when most of those spaces tend to kind of like empty out and you're able to game in a lot faster. But evenings is when it's at full capacity. The other thing he's kind of talked about is that there are no plans for the game to come to other platforms yet, but he's kind of like,
We might.
Not might. Is it coming?
Soon. Maybe.
You can't say that. Sure. That's what he's kind of saying. Phil Spencer has also commented on it, head of Xbox, saying that he hopes the game comes to the platform soon, and it would be a shame if someone prevented it from happening. Sony.
Well, the problem is that it should have been on Xbox first. It should have been.
That's the thing is that I don't remember Sony acquiring Arrowhead Game Studios to basically say, I mean, I get it. Like if they're contractually obligated to just release the game on PC and PlayStation, I get that. But it's like, at this point, I don't think it was a good financial decision for them because if you're filling a server up with 700,000 players after 2 weeks of release, the game is still going to pop off 2 months from now.
Yeah.
It's only gonna get bigger.
And it's going to get huge.
Well, so here's the reason why I was saying it should have been on Xbox is because Arrowhead were a bunch of devs from Microsoft.
Can you look that up and see if it's true?
But
I want to make sure that's true.
So the reason being is because this is the original team that made Halo ODST.
Is it?
Yeah. And then what they did is they actually went to Microsoft, to Xbox Gaming, and they said, we have an idea for a game. And it takes place in the Halo universe. And it's all about dropship troopers dropping into Covenant areas.
And doing the exact same
and
thing.
doing exactly the same thing. And and Xbox said, that game won't sell. That game's not going to sell. The devs were like, this is $1 million idea. And they left Xbox.
My problem with this game being specifically locked to PlayStation and PC is that it has so much potential to continue to grow for the next 3 to 5 years.
The greatest thing about it is the fact that everybody is working for the same goal.
But think about the cause. Like, I'm thinking from a company perspective, right? From a player perspective, this game's not going to die. Because there's so much, this game has so much potential to just keep adding things and making new missions happen. The working together aspect. A game hasn't existed like that for a really long time that's not complicated to learn. I feel like would you say that it's an easy game to pick up after like maybe 10 hours of playing?
Oh, 10 hours, 10 hours you should be pretty good.
See, that's kind of the thing is that like a lot of these games tend to.
What do you think, Sean? Me and Sean were playing
Yeah, I know.
the
You
other
guys
night.
are playing. Go ahead. Man.
Oh, I mean, like the first couple, I want to say like the first 5 matches, every time I would play a new one, I figured out something new. The game doesn't really do a good job of explaining it.
Yeah.
But as you begin to play it, things will slowly begin to click like, oh, okay, you know what? Now I kind of need to know when to drop my precision airstrike or things like that.
My orbitals or whatever.
And what seems to work more for you and your play style because they really cater to a bunch of different kind of play styles.
That's the thing is that I haven't had a game with that kind of experience since Rainbow Six Siege.
Like,
and Siege was one of those games where it's like tactically you have to think about your next move.
Yeah.
And granted, there might be several other games that have that kind of concept, but one that's as popular as this.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You can also play it like on a slightly lower difficulty and play pretty brain dead.
Yeah.
You can pretty much walk through the map.
Yeah,
But-
it's too easy.
Yeah, where it's too easy. And once you get, but also there is moments where you go, let's rank up this challenge rating and let's put it up and then immediately drop in and just everyone dies.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh no.
Do I drop here? Nope. Never mind.
No,
bunch of bugs.
Because it's not even that. It's the automatons too. Like like they're, because you have automatons, which are basically just Terminator robots, and then you have the bugs.
T-1000s.
Yeah. And the thing is that the automatons are by far more deadly than the bugs.
Oh, yeah.
because the automatons shoot back.
But the moment
Rockets just
they have
beaming you
rockets,
across
tanks.
like you didn't even see it coming.
Yeah, or you just have a dude with a shield just walking around, just marching towards you with like a spear, with like a gun, and you're shooting it going, and you just see your bullets bouncing off, and you're like, "Oh, that's bad, that's bad." And you're just running, just going, "I need help, I need help."
Because I think Sean asked if I was going to get Helldivers too, and he's just like, and I'm like, "Oh, I can't because I'm only playing on Xbox." And he's like, "Well, we need our ODST brothers to drop in." I'm like, "That's freaking right, dude."
That's
I
why
couldn't understand the similarities between the two.
That's why everybody keeps on asking the ODST people, because it plays a lot like ODST.
It basically does, and it's like that's the thing I'm looking at from a developer perspective, from a studio business perspective. If I am not on Xbox and don't have the rights to Microsoft, I can't sell skins that are Spartan skins. I can't sell cosmetics that
but
replace
they're
the
gonna
guns.
try.
Oh, if they do, at the moment it comes on Xbox,
yeah.
right there, day one.
I'm telling
They'll
you,
probably do the Fortnite thing and just like rename it as something else.
Then do that. That's a brilliant idea.
because a lot of the skins that they have are super close. Like if you ever, also,
No, I saw that. I saw
I thought it was super funny too, because I was looking at the gold one, like that gold skin that has like the feathering and everything like that. And I was looking at, because one of my buddies has it, and I was looking at it going, why do I 116? I was looking at it going, why does that look so familiar? I swear to God, that looks super familiar, and I don't know why.
It's ODST.
No.
What?
It's the Magna Defender from Power Rangers.
What?
Can you look it up?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right
It's
now.
Magna Defender from Power Rangers, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's why it looks so." That's why I want it so bad.
They also have a helmet that looks exactly like one of the Exos from like Destiny.
Yeah,
I bought that one.
So
I
there-
saw it.
there's
I
a
needed it.
there's a bunch of stuff that is as close to other properties as we can get without getting sued.
Yeah.
And it's great.
It should. You know what? I'm gonna guarantee you this game drops on Xbox before the holidays.
You know what? And if it does, great. I think more people in the server is great. I hope that the servers are fixed, because the other problem that people were having too is that people were leaving the game on, and they were filling the
that's
spot.
right. That was the other piece of note I forgot to mention. If
They
you're
were-
idle for 15 minutes or longer, they kick you out.
Now, yeah, it's 15 minutes or longer than now they kick you out. That was in the latest update, because I was
times.
because I didn't get into it. The party was full, and my buddy was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get off after this game." So while they were playing, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get a drink." I came back, and they were like, "Come back on," and I'm like, "Oh, I got disconnected." Hang on, let me jump back in. But honestly, the servers have been pretty stable since yesterday.
Whatever money Arrowhead needs to pay Sony to go non-exclusive, do it, because they're gonna probably make triple that money back during the holiday sales. And if they sell like a $60 edition with like whatever cosmetic packs, like people will buy that.
I'm
game.
calling it right now. The way that it's spaced, there's 2 more enemies that they haven't announced yet.
Yeah, there you go.
For
Well,
DLC, just the way that
Specifically one
flood.
from the first game,
They
Yeah.
released the flood.
the Unseen.
it's yeah. So that's why, because
The
there's at least
Unseen, are
one-
they zombies?
No, they're like technologically advanced, kind of like aliens and stuff like that. We actually got their technology from the first game. We kicked their butts, sent them packing. So now we implemented their technology into our ships that facilitate like interstellar travel, and like while we're able to like go across the galaxy so fast.
So when are they gonna do a zombie thing and call it like something like?
honestly
not
probably
Flood?
during Halloween
Yeah,
or anything
probably.
like that. But my thing is that the way that the actual like map is done, it's left is the automatons, right are the bugs.
I see. Okay.
And so there's an up and down areas that are completely blank, where you're like, these are more enemies that we're gonna get to fight. These are just empty.
I'm on the subreddit right now, and someone tried to recreate the scene from Starship Troopers when Rico jumps on the giant bug, but they failed.
Oh yeah, they probably died immediately.
Yeah, they died immediately.
All right, we got to wrap up comic strips because we still got a couple shows that we need to talk about, as well as Avatar: The Last Airbender. So that wraps up comic strips. Let's do Halo and Bad Batch watch.
Yep.
That's a mouthful.
Do Halo first.
Halo first.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
All right. Oh my God. Here's the thing.
If it's
about-
Halo, let me leave.
You're not allowed. So Halo, for whatever reason, no, not for whatever reason. I know it got better, and I'm actually enjoying it.
Don't you?
No,
don't
so
you sully anything.
here's the thing, and here's what I noticed after watching episode 4. Season 1 is not necessary. You can make a 20-minute summary video about what's important, pull those things out, and then watch season 2. because what ends up happening is season 2 episodes 1 and 2 are a setup to the beginning of Fall of Reach. Episode 3 ends, we get into the destruction of Reach. There's a character, I forget his name, Atkins or something like that.
Atkins, yeah.
Atkins, he's the one that creates the Spartan 3 program.
Yes.
He doesn't have a good development in the first and second episode.
No.
But then you get to the third episode and everything that didn't make sense in the first 2 episodes makes sense all at once. And you're like, wait, so now this guy who is basically an asshole because he doesn't want to explain why he sent Cobalt Team to an unknown mission, and we find out is they deployed them to Reach for whatever reason. There's a reason why. And so the reason being, which they're kind of changing the story as to why Reach falls, is because the Covenant is already on Reach, and the UNSC basically says, strategically speaking, if we do a mass evacuation on the planet, we will lose more resources. If we evacuate what's necessary and only take the necessary assets and leave everything else behind, the Covenant will not hit us as hard. This is a tactical evacuation. So Atkins has this little scene where I thought it was going to be a waste of time, where he talks to his dad, who has Alzheimer's. And he has this sentimental moment where he realizes and tells him, I have to go, but I can't take you with me. And you start to make the connection. So now you have a little bit of humanity in a character that didn't have any humanity. In episode 4, you start to see the Covenant come out.
Quick question.
Uh-huh.
The third episode, that's a full hour?
It's about 40-ish minutes, yeah.
And that's all that was important?
In that episode?
Just the strategic
no. That was my
leaving of
favorite
Reach?
part.
The strategic leaving of Reach, and he
No.
left his dad?
So the problem with episode 3 that I felt I didn't like, and I think that they looked at it and said, well, we have to make Chief a little more, we have to kind of sideline him a little bit. They made him crazy. The Covenant is on Reach. You have to believe, and we don't believe you. We got to put you into psychiatric help to kind of make it, because you can't be saying this nonsense. They make him weak. They make him stupid. That gets all thrown away by the end of episode 3 into episode 4. My only big complaint about episode 3 is that. That's it.
It's a pretty big complaint.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a big complaint. I'm saying that it's the only complaint I have that afterwards just gets thrown away. And episode 4 we end up seeing the events of the Fall of Reach. It's the start of it, which they now start to. Granted, he's not in Spartan armor. And again, the weakest point about it, which we've all agreed, is the fact that Master Chief is not Master Chief. What I'm liking about it is that they're highlighting the other characters and giving their moment to shine, which is kind of like, you know what? Great. Because if I'm watching the show and getting so pissed off that I'm not getting the Master Chief I want, at least I'm getting the other characters and they're having a better story. What's the Admiral again? The black guy, I forget his name.
Shoot. Jackson?
No, I forget his name. Anyways, he has this really great moment where he tells the troops that essentially anyone that joins them on the front lines will never make it out alive. This is the battle that essentially is meant to evacuate as many innocent civilians from Reach as possible. But to remember that as they step to the front lines, that the people that do make it out of Reach will tell their stories of what they sacrificed to make sure that these people made it out safely, that they won't be forgotten. And it's a really good speech. And I'm like, dude, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. I really enjoyed it. It got me excited to see what episode 5 and 6 are going to be like. I am still not recommending the show, but I feel like for people that are enduring it and going like, you know what, I still haven't, I'm still going to watch it just because it's Halo. I feel like this is a little bit of light.
You know what? I personally think if that's the case, if you're really going to sideline your main character, then just put him somewhere else and say he's doing stuff, and then follow another hit Spartan team.
Yeah.
And then just go, because if that's what you're already kind of doing, because it sounds like the writers people didn't like Chief, but people are liking the other characters. So let's go ahead and let's sideline Chief a little bit more, and let's do the parts that people like.
But whose fault was that?
That's the writer's fault. Yeah, the writers.
fault.
Yeah.
But my thing is that because I really want the squad that you get for the Fall of Reach, the squad that actually fights at the Fall of Reach, because I feel that if you did that story, which is a very simple storyline, it's basically one Spartan squadron,
Noble team.
and they're fighting in the middle of the Battle of Reach.
Mhm.
And then they're trying to, they're trying to survive and then slowly getting picked off. And, going out in really cool ways. And then it ends with the fall of Reach.
So that's what John and I were talking about, is that at this point because Master Chief feels like a lost character at this point.
Yeah.
He's not in Spartan armor. And I don't think that they're going to place him in Spartan armor because the UNSC took all the Spartan armor. So I feel like they're going to be fighting they're going to be fighting all of Reach without that. But the trailer does show,
Yeah, he's willingly watching the show.
Yeah.
He spends time.
Yeah.
But here's you want to know why I actually watch it?
It's so that way you can spend time with John.
Well, yeah, but because it was a show that him and I watched when he was living over at Riverside. We watched it over Discord, and it was kind of like our little moment. And now we're kind of having this again now that we're living closer together. So yeah, we're watching it for fun.
He was only in Riverside though.
Huh?
It wasn't that far.
It was an hour
seemed like
away,
he was
dude.
like
It was an hour away. What do you want me to do?
State.
It was
Listen,
a drive. All right? It was a drive.
He's not in Afghanistan. Like,
Bro.
he wasn't shipped out to
Bro,
war.
Listen, man. Listen.
Like,
Listen.
he was 45 minutes away with bad traffic.
No, bad traffic is like an hour and a half, bro. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, like,
Bonding over this.
You know what? This is why I don't show my emotional stuff.
I got a
Every time
buddy.
I open up, it's always just like,
I got a buddy in Virginia who we haven't
That's
seen
cool,
in 3
that's-
years,
oh my God.
and we
I
watched the first episode.
You lost the leg.
And we watched the first episode of Avatar together, and that was pretty cool. That's more than an hour away.
all right, well, that's my take on Halo. Go for it.
okay.
All right, Bad Batch.
Bad Batch. Here we go. Halo's
So-
a terrible show, but Bad Batch.
You know what?
Yeah.
And Bad Batch is doing its work. It is trying its best to make 7, 8, and 9 make sense.
Really.
So the premise of third season is that the Bad Batch, after they became mercenaries, the cloners in Camino found out that Omega is a perfect clone of Django. So they need this clone because all the other samples have been destroyed by the Kaminoans. What happens is that they're able to capture her, and you notice that one of the Kaminoans that's there keeps destroying her samples. What you end up finding, so the entire time, Beta is in this kind of like facility. It's a cloning facility, and you're kind of going like, I wonder why why this cloning facility exists. The third episode, so you have like her there, then you go into Crosshairs, which is a member of the Bad Batch that goes evil. He's now good again because the chip has finally been taken out and everything else. In the third episode, the Emperor comes, and he comes to visit the facility, and yeah, but the thing is that he ends up showing up, and the facility is there, and it's like in the early years of the war, and what ends up happening is he goes, I'm here to check in on Project Lazarus. And they go over, and you actually see that this facility is being made to make a clone of the Emperor.
Oh, okay,
that's what this is for. The only problem that they're having, though,
I feel like that's something that we've known for a while, but they've never solidified that.
exactly. So they're making a clone of the Emperor. And the problem is that they can't get the M count right. So they can't copy his midichlorian count.
Oh.
And
That's why they have Grogu. See, connected. And so
no, it's actually not.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is that you're wondering, why do they keep destroying Omega's blood sample? Because they keep trying to take it, and then the Kaminoans always keep destroying it, and they keep saying that the sample's bad. And what ends up happening is they end up taking the sample, and the Kaminoan is stuck with the Emperor. And she tells Omega, you need to leave. You need to escape right now. Whatever you do, get the hell out of here. She ends up leaving with Crosshairs. They end up taking off. And right before they're about to take off, they're about to shoot the ship down. One of the other scientists basically goes, you can't shoot the ship down. Omega is a perfect clone with a high M count. She is the thing. She is exactly the type of clone that you need to make the Emperor's clones. And so they let them go, and that's going to be the season. The season is going to be them trying to hunt Omega down so that way they can then make the Emperor's clones, which is pretty good. That's actually a pretty interesting. That's an interesting first step. Couple of 3 episodes.
That's not bad actually. It's pretty. I mean, like I said, like it's funny that now they're solidifying that, like, okay, the whole point of this whole, cloning aspect is to clone the Emperor.
Yes.
Which again, that's something that we've talked about or suspected.
Right.
The reasoning and stuff, and that's something that's been spawned across all Star Wars medium as well too, being from the last trilogy into the Mandalorian.
And then even with like Dr. Pershing's inside of which are in the Mandalorian and everything else.
Yeah.
So they're really trying to solidify we're going to make Snoke. Essentially. So we're trying to make Snoke.
And again, that shows how Dave Filoni is kind of like taking what was a crap sandwich and trying to connect it and make it make sense. That's the thing. Yeah.
And go like, all right, how much butter do I need to put on this?
Right. It's like,
let's put some cream cheese,
some salt. Yeah.
But you know what? And because I was really wondering, because I'm like, dang, like 3 episodes to kind of tell this story, and then get to and then the 3rd episode is, oh yeah, now they're going off. It was interesting because the first episode was Omega on the facility. Then it was the Bad Batch trying to find out where Omega is. And then the 3rd episode is them trying to escape.
Okay.
So, and not only that, but also it's different too now because the mission where Omega got kidnapped, one of the members of the Bad Batch died. Tech. So you see, it's 3rd season.
Yeah.
But anyway, he ends up dying, and it's one of those things of they're too cautious now because they've been able to kind of escape every version of death-defying thing because of who they were. Now that they've lost a member, you can see that the characters like Wrecker, characters like Hunter, they're being overly cautious to not lose anybody else, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
Not only that, but also you're finding out more about what happened to the clones that were in Camino, because in 2nd season they destroyed Camino. Like they actually sank the cloning facility. So you're actually seeing, oh, we took all the kid clones and we just started ripping them apart and just harvesting them for all their clone DNA, just seeing if whether or not we could make the Emperor's clones. And unfortunately they weren't. And so a lot of them were able to either escape, are living in the wilderness, trying to make it, or they're dead. And the Emperor is very much showing he does not care about clones. Like, we're trying to get rid of them. So it's an interesting thing. Not only that, but also the villain that they've had for the last 2 seasons, Crosshair, because now he has this redemption story. Because
that's the one that betrayed them, right?
That's the member of the Bad Batch that betrayed them. So now it's this cool redemption story that he has because he feels bad because he was hunting his brothers. And now, he even
3 years, it's like, oh no, I shouldn't have done this.
Well, but it's also this weird PTSD because it's like, you would have never done this if you weren't ordered to. You would have never crossed this line. And now that the chip's taken out, now that you actually are back to normal, he has this, if I wasn't hunting you guys down, would Tech have died? Would you guys have made it out? Would we be safe? Would the people that we've lost still have died if I would have been with you?
Yes.
So he's he's having the survivor's guilt along with guilt for putting his brothers in harm.
Okay.
And it's interesting because also he's supposed to be like their main sniper, and he's developed a weird tick where now his hand shakes. And now he's not as precise as he used to be.
Okay.
So it's interesting because also the clones are aging rapidly. So it's really good. I'm enjoying the way that the final season's kind of going down. I imagine Omega will die by the end. But yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be, so far I'm enjoying it.
All right,
it's an interesting story.
That was the Bad Batch.
How much time we got, Sean?
Yeah.
1:34 right now. 10 minutes for Avatar?
Yeah, it's a quick wrap up.
It's a quick wrap up. You guys didn't watch it, so I mean, we can talk about it real quick.
You watched the first 2 episodes.
I watched
right?
the first 2 episodes.
So here's my question to you, because I feel like the couple scenes that I did see from people putting the show out there on the internet is that they're more annoyed of the inconsistencies and parallels that this is putting out there that is not true to the show. And the big one that I'm seeing right now is the scene where Aang is flying without a glider. And I'm like, to a point, I understand why.
Wait, he couldn't do that before.
He couldn't
He
do that
can.
before.
Yeah,
So
he
there's
can.
a season. There's a season in Korra
Uh-huh.
where she meets an airbender. He's gifted the power of airbending after the spirit and the
Harmonic
human world
convergence.
basically like converged together, and they're bringing new airbenders into the world essentially.
Yeah.
And this guy is a known like criminal. He was jailed up in some sort of like isolated area.
Yep.
And he studies a former monk who essentially learns that in order to fly, you have to let go of all earthly tethers. So he was the only airbender monk that was able to do so. So in order for Aang to fly, that means that he has to have had let go of all earthly tethers, which isn't true because he ends up still, falling in love for Katara and holding on to, the fun aspects of living here and everything else.
So my
Mhm.
my only
Zahir, thank you.
Zahir. My only problem that
Great
I
arc,
have
by
with,
the way.
my only problem that I have with that complaint is that you can obviously see in the show
Mhm.
and in the CGI, he's consistently throwing air down.
He's pushing himself.
He's
Yeah.
pushing himself up, and then he's using his clothes
Mhm.
to glide, which is something that Aang does often in the show.
So
I feel like that's a very small critique.
Well,
that
he also
Aang
does
glides a lot,
the air ball that he floats on. So
which is in episode 3.
yeah, so that's the thing is I'm going into this show. I'm gonna watch it later on this week
Yeah.
with zero expectations.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna compare it to the live action or the
Animated,
animated show because there's no way. That's its own charm. That has its own thing. So I'm gonna watch it like its own thing.
Yeah.
Same thing with One Piece. One Piece, I'd never watched the anime, and as I'm watching the anime and finishing up the live action show, I'm not putting the two side by side. I see that there's parallels in the story, but in terms of what's being shown in front of me, it's completely different. That's the biggest complaint I've seen. I've heard that the other complaints that people have is that the story isn't well fleshed out. But that's where I want to see what you guys think, because I'm not going to need convincing.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's good to see first, because
Yeah.
you've seen animated and
Yeah.
live action. You are only seeing the live
I've
action.
only seen the live action.
So what do you think of the 2 episodes so
So
far?
far, I mean, I told Nick I'm still not driven to keep going. I don't know what it is about me and Avatar, but I'm not. There's nothing clicking when I'm watching it. I don't care for it.
I think we know.
I don't know. And I told him. I think what it is that I don't care for Aang as a character.
Okay.
And then also on top of that, there is some characters that I did like that I was watching the live action, and I liked the relationship. It was Zuko, the bad guy,
The
Yes.
prince.
the prince, and his uncle.
Iroh.
Yeah. And I love their back and forth. Their bantering is really great. That's what makes me kind of interested. I'm like, oh,
There's a
that's
lot-
the only thing I'm kind of like.
There's a lot of that.
That's kind of like I'm tethering at that right now.
The animated version of Avatar
Yeah.
has that a lot, but
That's what-
essentially it's their growth, because
Yeah.
there'll come a point where Zuko doesn't feel like Iroh is any help to him,
Mm-hmm.
so they leave, and there's a moment where they come back and they reconcile all their
Mhm.
basically sorrow and their
Spoiler.
hatred. I mean, he's had so many years to watch
That's
it.
the thing.
but
No,
it's-
that's fair. That's fair,
Yeah.
honestly. But I mean, I've talked to Nick before we recorded, and I don't know if you convinced me or we talked about it, but I am gonna try to watch book 1 of the animated show
Mhm.
and then judge it from there. If it still hasn't grabbed me, at least I can say
I think
I've watched.
you and I have
book 1.
agreed that book 1 is the hardest one to watch
Mm-hmm.
because it's slow. Is book 1 the Blue Devil? He gets introduced in
Yes.
that one, right?
Mhm.
So
The Blue Devil's in the show too. He's in the live action.
Okay. So book 1 personally I think is a little difficult to watch, but then if you can get through book 1,
Mhm.
book 2 and book 3 are just like easy.
Really?
like,
Because
done.
I really like book 1 though.
I
I really like book 1.
after
The reason why I like book 1 is because you get
Sean's
be-
like,
no, but I do feel like you have some of the really cool, interesting character developments that if you don't have these character developments, then in book 2 it doesn't work.
and that's the thing is that book 1 works if you haven't seen it for we've seen it multiple times.
Yeah.
So if I haven't seen The Last Airbender in so long, I can rewatch book 1 and be like, oh yeah, this part's really great. This development's really good. The growth on this character is really interesting. And so yeah, there is a lot of character development, but it's not a book that I could easily just put on and be like, I'm going to watch it over and over and over again. I feel like for that, easily for me is Korra had a stronger first season. To me, it had a stronger first season, and I think that it's an unfair comparison. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna put myself down on this. It is an unfair comparison because the world building's already there.
Avatar did a lot for Korra.
Avatar did a lot for Korra, but I did love the tension between Korra and
Zahir,
not Zahir. It's the extremist who wanted to get rid of all bending.
It's not Zahir. It's
Aman.
Yeah, Aman is by far the best villain in
I
Korra.
like Zahir more, but Aman's a close second.
Nah, Aman is the best. He's the
Zahir,
scariest.
hands down.
Zahir.
Henry Rollins
Okay,
voiced the guy too.
I'll give
like,
you
an
that,
anarchist
yes.
being
Yeah.
voiced by an anarchist.
But also, the reason why I love Aman is because Aman is actually terrifying.
Aman is terrifying.
I feel like Aman is scarier than Zahir is.
But Zahir had
and
such a cool moment.
Not only
yeah,
that,
and he just straight up killed people too.
that's
Zahir?
true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Zahir when he just like sucks the air out of somebody. That was
Oh,
sick.
favorite scene, best scene in Korra, I think personally. Freaking, there's a explosive person. It's a woman that's able to shoot like explosives in her head.
Meanwhile,
Yeah, and her head gets wrapped in metal. It's just this quick sequence that lasts no more than 10 seconds.
It's like, and then it
Her
cuts. to
head gets
something else.
covered, head blows up. Zahir just goes blank, and then he says, "Let go of all earthly tethers."
and that's what he flies.
Falls down the cliff, flies, and I remember watching that and going like, "Dude,
Well, okay.
balls drop, dude."
So here's my thing though. So for Avatar, the actual first season, because I was asking my brother because he went in and just burned through Avatar in the last like 2 or 3 weeks.
the show.
The cartoon.
Okay.
So he went through because we were telling because his boyfriend really wants to watch the live action and he was like, I want to watch it with you. So let's go ahead and I'll finish the series. I asked him how he liked season 1. And he goes, honestly, I got to episode 3, and then by the time I was into episode 3, I burned through it because I fell in love. The story building in season 1, in book 1, is very good, but not only that, but also it gives you the war because it gives you the lengths that people are taking to survive in this war.
Yeah.
Not only that, but also you are really feeling the pain, and it's really kind of in like being like just smacked in on how much Aang has failed
So
the
then,
world.
going with that idea, what is it about Aang that you don't like?
I don't know. I just don't care for him.
You just do you not like his personality?
I
or
think that's what it is.
is it because
yeah.
he's too much of a kid in a
Yeah.
time? Okay, that kind of makes sense. And I think like book 1.
At
would-
least because I
Yeah.
can see the similarities when people, because there are some people that do compare it to My Hero Academia,
Uh-huh.
and I could see the similarities with him and Deku, but at the same time, I like Deku because he is so much of a nerd and a fanboy that I can relate to that more.
Yeah,
Mm,
rather than Aang, who's just trying to run away from
Yeah,
responsibility.
and I think that's what kind of gets me annoyed by him is that he knows what he can do. He knows he is the Avatar, but he just doesn't want to do it. And I'm like,
My big thing is that because that only lasts 6 episodes, like 4 or 5 episodes in the actual cartoon. It does because it lasts all the way up until he gets to about Kyoshi Island.
I would even go further out. It's when he gets to the Southern Air Temple and sees Monkey Ash.
Monkey Ashu.
They do that kind of fast in the live action.
No, that's episode like 2 or 3
because in the live action,
when they go to the Southern Air Temple. It's like 3.
Isn't episode 2 they already get to?
Oh no, episode 1 they're in the Southern.
Oh,
Air
is that
Temple.
fast?
Yeah.
So the way that the show
That's
starts,
interesting.
spoiler,
Yeah.
the way that the show starts is the fall of the Southern Air Temple. It's the night.
It opens.
Do you see a genocide?
You just see a genocide.
Dope.
It starts first with 2 Earthbenders.
That episode is
stealing.
episode 1 is called Aang. That's
Yeah,
what it
it's
is.
called Aang.
Yeah.
Aang?
No,
Is it?
no, he pronounces it right. But anyway, the
Someone
thing
just
is
decided to be like, you son of a bee.
the thing is that they're so the Earth Kingdom is trying to steal information. They end up stealing the information, and basically it says that the Fire Nation is going to attack Ba Sing Se. That is where their first attack is, and that's where they're going to attack first. They send it out to the Earth King. Everybody else in the world is going, we need to
Boomy?
stop. Huh?
Is it Boomy or is it someone else?
Somebody else, because he's
Okay.
not. He's in charge of Amashu. He's not in charge of Ba Sing Se.
You're right.
So
You're right. Yeah.
They're saying that he's going to attack the Earth Kingdom.
Mhm.
So they're going, we need to protect the Earth Kingdom. He then, what was it? Sozin then says, that's not our target. We have a bigger target. You're going to be looking this way, which means that we can attack the true thing that we want. And the way that the show did it is that all of the a great majority of the airbenders are all at the Southern Air Temple because they're there for a comet festival. Basically, it's like a lunar festival that all the airbenders are there for.
They didn't include in the cartoon.
Yeah, and
It's interesting.
And then what happens is that during the festival, that's when the Fire Nation attacks, and they even say on any other night you would have won, but tonight's not your night. And they're basically just burning through airbenders.
Do you actually see people burn alive?
Oh yeah, you're seeing them
Oh, yeah.
scorched.
Like people are actually like.
Well,
burning?
no, the first like 3 minutes you see an earthbender burned alive.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
and,
hardcore.
It is. Yeah.
Sozin. Oh, he goes to go hit Sozin, and then Sozin catches his hand, and then he goes, "I have bigger ideals." And then his hand starts heating up, and he goes, "Ah!" And then you just see his entire body getting engulfed in flame.
That's hardcore.
I mean, I thought that was.
Is
Pretty
it
cool.
TV-14 or PG?
I think it's TV-14.
I think it's TV-14.
That's dope.
But
Sold.
the other one that was really interesting too
Burning
was
earthbenders.
so there was
Garbage.
but there was one where there was an airbender she has a tornado, and she's like sucking in all this air, and she's like making everybody else, and there's a firebender who literally just adds all of this flame to the oxygen inside of
burns
it,
her alive.
and she just toasts inside of this whirlwind, and it's a fire tornado.
That's
Yeah, they show the brutality of firebenders. in
Yeah,
there.
but that's the beauty about like the idea. So what they do really well, and we'll wrap up right now. But what they do really well in the animated show is that they talk about like the consequences of bending the elements. So like fire is one of the most dangerous elements to bend because you could easily get burned. And there's an episode where Iroh teaches Zuko lightning, how to like bend it. And he tells them it's all about concentrating and making sure that you're transferring energy from here through your body and exiting the other way.
He's redirecting.
But you have to have like patience and understand it because at any point you can actually get hurt. Is it Zuko that doesn't do it right and he like the lightning comes out of his chest?
Yes.
He actually gets, or is it that it comes out from his back or something like that?
No. It wasn't that. It was he gets shocked because Azula is trying to attack Katara,
That's right.
and she shoots at Katara. Like he's waiting for it to attack him, and then she sees Katara, and she throws it at her instead.
Yeah. So it's.
And then he jumps in front of it.
They talk about the elements in a way that's like without showing the genocide because it's a kids show. They try to show
More
you
genocides.
by talking about the elements, and it makes you feel and understand like the dangers of having this, which again translates into Korra.
The main thing is that I noticed from this first book is that there isn't a lot of Aang bending other elements.
Okay, which is I'm totally fine with.
So, because you don't have Aang trying to bend firebending for the first time, and him accidentally burning Katara, and making him afraid of firebending. So you don't have that. Whenever Katara's practicing, he doesn't practice with her, which I feel like would be an easy thing, and everything else. But what they're doing is they rearranged a lot of the stuff inside of the first book, 148, when they rearranged a lot of things in it for convenience. So they moved characters all over the place. So instead of it being in the Western Air Temple, what was it? You have the Tinkerer, and now he's in Omashu.
Did they bring in the Tinker in this?
The Tinkerer is in it, and he's in Omashu now. And then they got Jet, and they put Jet in Omashu.
Jet's in this season too?
Jet's in the season 2. So is the Duke. So is...
That's understandable. They're just trying to make the show progress a lot faster because
So-
one, they don't know how many seasons they're going to get, and two, you're limited to what, 8 episodes?
Yeah, not only that, but also they made Jet a domestic terrorist.
He was a domestic terrorist.
Yeah, but now he's just setting off bombs in Omashu.
Okay, so they took his character away. And they just made him a terrorist.
Well, no, they still have his character, and they still have everything else.
Is he still trying to fight for the people?
He is still trying to fight for the people by
Okay, so
murdering
they added
everyone
the domestic
else.
terrorist to it. Okay.
Yeah, and he just
so now he's
and he's-
domestic terrorist with the capital D.
And then he tries to kill the Earth King. Like he tries to
Okay,
kill
now
Boomy.
he's just a terrorist.
Yeah,
He's back to being a terrorist.
Yeah, he tries to kill Boomy with a bomb.
Final thoughts.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's a show.
There you go.
It exists.
You know,
That's it.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I am gonna watch the animated season 1 at least, or book 1. I don't know how the technical term is. But
season 1, who cares?
okay, season 1. That's the thing. I don't know. I'm gonna have Avatar. It's book 1.
Okay, we'll call
Fuck
him
off. But I am gonna watch it, and then I'll have my final say on it after that. But
I have a problem with if I'm calling it season 1.
Yeah.
Come over to Understudy, buy a comic, then
Yeah.
go kick his ass
and
or
I'll
try.
just belittle you as I'm ringing you up. Like, which, oh my god, I had customers there, but I'll talk about it later.
Okay. What's your thought?
I enjoyed it. You know what? I had more fun than I thought that I was going to have. Bending looks really cool. There's a lot of really interesting developments that are going on, especially lightning bending. Yeah,
We'll talk later.
Oh,
We'll talk later.
You'll see it later. Yeah, it looks like it does look like you're feeling yourself.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah. Lightning. Okay. So anyway, it looks really cool. I really like the way bending looks. I'm looking forward to kind of seeing it.
the movements are cool. Yeah.
Actually
Everything else.
looks like it.
I do like some things that they're changing. Like I do like the fact that Zhao is incompetent. I like the fact that he's incompetent and he's being controlled by Azula.
Oh, dope. Okay.
So
they brought in Azula like now.
but the thing is that she's not there. She's sending letters and she's moving puzzle pieces around.
makes it better because that makes her smarter.
Yes. So it makes her more intelligent, and it also, and because she keeps outthinking everybody. So she's looking at a map and then looking at things and going, where is Aang going?
Do they have Ty Lee in there?
Ty Lee is in there.
Oh, thank God.
All three
dude.
of them are in it. Yeah.
She is my favorite. I
May,
love her.
May, Ty Lee, and all them. The only thing I didn't like about it is their costumes looked very Saturday morning cartoon, like Saturday morning
It's
TV
okay, I
show
like Ty
or
Lee.
novella.
I love Ty Lee.
But I do like the characters. I liked Iroh. I liked Zuko's character. Sokka was fun. Like, because the thing is that he's kind of bland character for the first couple of episodes, and then once you get to Kyoshi Island, which is I think that's the second episode. Once he starts meeting the Kyoshi warriors, he starts developing a little bit better.
Because he was, what is it? The brother ends up kind of like getting into like a little
Sokka.
spar.
Yeah.
With her,
Yeah.
and it's fun, and I'm enjoying it. I was surprised that I was like, oh, I want to keep watching.
Okay.
So definitely give it a chance. Watch it out,
I'm gonna give it a chance.
and think about it the same way that the actor said. It is not a direct translation. It is a remake, or it's a
Good
remix.
point to end on.
They changed some things, but the heart is still there.
Perfect. All right. Well, with that said, let's go ahead and wrap up this issue 187 of Keeping Up with the Nerds. Thank you so much for joining us. If you made it this far, don't forget to check out our website, keepingupwiththenerds.com. Check out our socials, Instagram, Facebook, and X.com, Twitter. And check out our YouTube, youtube.com/Keeping Up with the Nerds. Check out our audio platforms if you guys are on the go, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and Spotify. With that said, are we ready to wrap the show up?
Let's do it.
This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 187. My name is Bryan,
Nick.
Rene.
signing out from Undercity Comics. We'll see you all next time.